REZOcast, episode 76, aka DONGCAST76, episode 1. This week, I'm taking over. I brought along Papa Bear from REZO, a good friend of mine. Papa Bear, how are you?
I'm good. It's like 3 in the morning, living on coffee, but I'll survive.
It's been, we really appreciate you coming over, at, what is it? It's really 3 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah, 3 a.m.
Jesus, I'm so sorry. But if you guys didn't notice, since I'm taking over and I do what I want, I didn't bring any of the other hosts. There's no Triton. There's no Lego. There's no Mana. We're just going to do what we want. I don't really know what we're going to do. But
Wait. What is going on right now?
What are you doing?
You started the podcast already?
Yeah, this is my episode. What?
Hove?
Dude,
I
thought we talked about this.
I know it's HoveCast76.
No, it is not HoveCast76.
What episode is this?
It is DONGCAST76.
Hove, I don't know. I think I might have been giving you a little bit too much leeway here.
Why is Triton here too?
Because it's a podcast. It's always
supposed to be my
episode.
episode.
I don't know, Hove.
Why did you start?
You're not even supposed to be here.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Triton, will you talk
I
some
can't
sense
deal with
into
this.
Hove?
I can't talk any sense into him, so
I can't deal with this. I wanted to
Okay, Hove. This is your episode.
Okay, Hove,
you take the lead. I apologize,
No,
but we're here, so we might as well.
don't
we might as well
apologize
just do
to
it.
him.
The thing that'll make me happiest if I can't run the episode is you run the episode and I try my damnedest to derail it.
Well,
Isn't
I don't
that
know
every
if I'm prepared
episode?
for that, Hove.
I feel like that's.
Yeah, I thought that's why I was here, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Papa can take care of the episode.
Well, since you guys are already here, we talked about how Papa Bear is a good friend. It's 3 a.m. for him. We really appreciate him. He's the man. And I guess I'll just go back to being little old Hove in the corner.
Okay, good.
I don't doubt
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't believe for a second that Hove is just going to be a little Hove in the corner. He's got something big planned for us.
I have
later
so
on.
many plans. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we have a special something going on with our sponsors from Blue Microphones and Headphones, which we are very thankful for. So that is happening.
Should we get it out of the way and mention that now so that we can let people do their thing?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. So this is going to be, as we've mentioned for about a month now, we are sponsored by Blue Microphones and Headphones, which is awesome. And tonight we're going to do our first giveaway of one of their products. Tonight is only going to be for people who are here live. You just type !raffle in chat, and at the end we'll pick a winner, and you get to pick between the Blue Yeti microphone in any of, I believe, 7 colors, or the Blue Lola headphones, which are fantastic headphones. Not gaming, not even gaming headphones, like great musical headphones. So yeah, !raffle in chat to do that, and at the end of the podcast we will pick a winner, and we'll get your information and send you some cool shit.
Absolutely. But
also, I have a game plan for later.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
Well, we're not going to get to that yet. Before we get to any of that, we've got Papa Bear, our guest here. Dude, what's up, man? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Just, forever grinding.
Okay,
well, Papa Bear.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
He is grinding so much. He went back to
definitely blame Hope for whatever just happened.
I didn't do it, I
Blame-
swear. Oh, he's
Blame
back. He's
Hope.
back. Don't worry.
Yep.
There he
Yep.
is.
Yeah, I spend my life. Well, apparently I'm completely computer illiterate, so that's a good start.
Did you wait? It wasn't your internet. You kicked yourself out.
Yeah, no, because I'm actually that stupid. I got a gaming mouse because I just got this computer, and I keep forgetting there's side buttons, and then the side buttons outside of the game are a front page, back page. So I just back paged all the way back to Twitter just now. So, is
Nice.
just good like that. It's got that good 3 a.m. feeling right now.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well,
That's awesome.
That's not awesome.
He's an
But-
idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, cool.
well, that's just great. Well, Papa, tell us a little bit about where you're at with gaming right now. I know you're one of the newer recruits to REZO. I noticed you playing a lot of doubles in the past little while when that was going on with Wilson. Got a little doubles buddy action going on. But what other gaming have you been doing lately?
Mostly, I've been messing around a lot with things like Warframe. Obviously, everyone's on Fortnite, so I get on there just to get my teeth kicked in every now and then. Other than that, really, just been kind of, especially now with the PC grind. That's a whole nother thing because you can make a new character on PS4 every day, all day. but it's almost like walking into a neighborhood that you've lived in your entire life and then waking up with your legs on backwards because you can't move because mouse and keyboard just doesn't function the way that like controllers do.
Oh,
like
man.
I went into a game of PvP and I swear I felt like the biggest potato on the planet. Like I couldn't move anywhere.
You are the biggest potato on the planet.
Exactly. Right? But it was solidified in this moment where I like, and you know when your body knows exactly what needs to be done and it just doesn't. Like I kind of feel like I know what an 86-year-old man feels like, you know.
So have you played mouse and keyboard stuff before? Or?
Never, dude. It's the first time I've ever like even touched a PC. It's kind of great because it's just that feeling of. It reminds me of like the first time I played Destiny. Because first time I played Destiny was the first time I ever touched a shooter. I was always like an RPG guy. You know, I was a hardcore weeb. I used to play my JRPGs, and so when Destiny came out and it had like these RPG elements to it, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be really cool. It's kind of familiar territory, but unfamiliar territory. I couldn't shoot for anything. I was like doing that. I was a hip fire guy. You know, I had like a hand cannon. I didn't know how to ADS until I was like level 10. It was great. So it's kind of like that feeling again of going into something that's familiar, but also being completely crap at it. So
I gotcha. Well, we haven't actually had you on the podcast before, I don't think. And so want to get to know you a little bit. Like what, is your place in the Destiny community overall? Do you feel like what are the things that you like doing that activities people can find you doing?
I like to think I'm one of those, jack of all trade types. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm top tier at anything, honestly.
Neither would I.
I'm top tier enough, but I'm still good enough to fit Hove in my backpack every now and then.
Oh, okay, yeah. You definitely fit me in your backpack a few times in D1, except for that time. What happened? Okay, remind me. Something like terrible happened. One Trials game where we were playing like Defender, or you were playing Defender, and like something happened with a bubble. Do you know what I'm talking about? There was some Trials game where you were last man standing. You went 1v3 and you killed everyone and then accidentally killed yourself with a grenade or something like that.
It's not the first time that's happened. That was another one. That's happened multiple times. Like there was like one great one that I clipped. I think I put it on YouTube, and it was like the only thing on YouTube I have. That's good. Yeah, it was on Black Shield, and I was playing a hunter. I wasn't even playing a defender. I was playing a hunter, and I remember I was playing with Hove, and I think it was Apollo. So we were playing together.
Apollo.
Yeah, and Hove and Apollo were both down because I have this terrible thing. Hove knows I do it all the time. I call it green before team, where I will abandon everyone on my team to get special ammo.
Oh.
This sounds familiar.
That sounds
I know this.
So like usually I'll hear 2 Guardian downs followed by Hove going, Mars, where are you? And then I'll usually say green before team. And then
True.
And then I push him with a shotty and wreck everybody. So it's great. So this was a green before team moment. Hove goes down, Apollo goes down, both outside, and I'm like, oh crap. So let me go get this special ammo. I didn't even have a shotgun. I had a sniper on because I was experimenting. And I managed to get one guy down, get another guy down, and then one guy self-rezzed, and I freaked out. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting this kid. So I just started like trying to hip fire him with my sniper because I was like, there's no way I'm going to hit a shot. And I ran away. He threw a grenade at me. I like shade stepped at him and jumped and hit him with like the sickest jump snipe I've ever. Like it's one of those things that you can never recreate. It was a complete accident. There was no skill involved whatsoever, but it still went on YouTube and it looked like I knew what I was doing. So, and in the celebration, running away because I don't know why I was just like running. Like I couldn't run in real life, so I just ran in circles on the screen. Ran straight into the guy's solar grenade and just watched myself melt as the timer ran out.
It was like it was just spaced enough that like everyone was holding their breath. Papa Bear landed this crazy kill. Everyone freaked out, and then about like 2 seconds passed, like a real like 1 Mississippi, 2, and then he died, and we were like, oh god, it was great. It was fantastic.
The thing I love about this story is this isn't just with you. The exact same thing happened with me and Rowley playing with Papa Bear, but it was like one of the Nova
Vortex.
One of the Vortex grenade, exactly from D1.
Exactly.
And he like backed up. He was like, "Oh, I did it!" Yeah, and he starts backing up. I'm like, "No!" Like it was right where my orb was. Don't do it.
Well, because like at the end of the round, you're like, "Oh, let me get this revive so you can get a little bit of super energy." Because like I just dropped a bubble. I'm trying to get all the super energy I can. So I like slid or like backpedaled to where Lego's ghost was, and Lego's like trying to tell me not to be there, and I can't hear him because I'm just too busy being hype. And followed soon. It was not great.
I think probably as far as gameplay goes, I still think my favorite moment in all of D1. Oh look, it's Mana. Everyone's just showing up when it's supposed to be my episode. Fuck this. Anyway, so obviously my favorite D1 moment probably of all time was the whole Mom Whisper with Fatebringer.
Yeah.
But as far as actual gameplay, probably my 3 favorite Trials moments of all time all came while playing with Papa Bear.
Nice.
In no particular order, there's that one, because, anytime Papa Bear dies, it's great. Another one was also
that sounds like a Hove comment, honestly.
I'm gonna put that on my headstone. Like, you guys are all gonna be at my funeral, and it's just gonna say, "Anytime Papa Bear dies is great."
Wow.
Well, so anyway, the next one, I hope you remember this one, Papa Bear, but we always, Papa Bear's internet being across the ocean has never been great. He's very laggy when we play sometimes. It's a joke. We laugh. Haha, So we're playing on Black Shield again, and he's, like, lagging out to the point where he's getting killed. Like, we know it's him, but the other guys are lagging for him, and he keeps dying, and we're down, like, 4-2 or something. We're like, God damn it, Papa Bear. Like, where's your red bar god lag? Like, why aren't you the one, like, lagging into them and killing them? He's like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden he goes, guys, he was like, I think I have the god bar lag. And all of a sudden Papa Bear just fucking goes in. Like, he just rushes the whole team with a shotgun and kills everybody. And we're like, what just happened? Like, all right, cool. And then did it like 3 more rounds.
Oh my god.
And it was like,
yeah.
But the lag turned around that what do they call it? The damage referee or some shit?
Yeah. I think I got true host at that point.
Yeah.
So everyone was playing in Europe, and I was on home court.
You just wrecked everybody.
Man.
It was great though, because it was like legitimate god lag. It's not even like you get that one that's like, oh, maybe they're just missing me, or maybe it's like it was like full on like Terminator. Like I just walked in there, and they were all shooting me, and there was no damage happening. So I was like this like slowly moving like shotgun. Like you could see them all backpedaling, just emptying clips into me, and I was not going down. I just slowly walked up and shotgunned all 3 of them.
Do you feel like that happens in D2? Like, does that same kind of lag? Because I feel like that doesn't really happen as much in D2.
I feel like not as much, but then they did say that D2 has like that hybrid server.
That's
right.
Like,
because D1 had straight up peer-to-peer. D2 has like the kind of combination server. So it's a little bit less prevalent. It does happen every now and then.
It's interesting to think about that difference because I don't feel like I think about how bad the lag was in D1. Like it happens every once in a while in D2 where somebody is like takes damage like a full second later after you shoot them, but not to where somebody's red bar and like, oh, that guy just killed like 10 of us, in a row. And like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it happens as frequently.
Exactly. Guys running around we ran out of medals just because he's invincible.
Man, in D1, sometimes in those intense trials matches, and all of a sudden, just out of the blue, the guy turns God mode. You're just like, what happened?
Yes.
He's running in place, blinks somewhere else. You're just like, what? And then you're dead.
Exactly, dude. Or you're just like walking, like when you just like are walking, you're like nothing on your radar, nothing going on, and next thing you know, like a sniper shot hits you, and you have no idea what happened. Like it's like I used to remember it would be on like Burning Shrine when the grinder was all the way covering you, and then all of a sudden I'm just dead from a sniper shot, which apparently happened like a minute and a half ago.
That happens a lot to me in PUBG, but it's just because I'm bad and I don't know where people are. Like I'm just walking and I get sniped.
Yep.
And quickly, the third one, I'm going to let Papa Bear tell this one. I know he knows what I'm talking about.
Timekeeper.
The best moment in all of Trials history.
Fucking Timekeeper, man. All right, so this one, it's 4-4, Game 7 of the Trials card. This team is giving us a hard-ass time. Like, you can tell they're playing with us a little bit. Because we were actually up 4-1, and then they came back on us. Like, they just decided to turn it on or whatever and decided that they were just going to run through us. So it got to the point, remember there was like that little window on the shelf in between B and the outside? So you could like see through it to an extent. Like if you walked up to it, you could see like, oh, the guys are on heavy, or they're going to the rock, or they're going to like the big circle. So Hove gets up in the window and starts dancing, and the other guy
No,
on
this
the other
was
team
planned,
who's on the
Lego.
outside. Yeah, this was planned. I was
Papa
like,
Bear
yo,
says,
these guys
Hove,
kept
just go up
dancing
to
on
that
us.
window and dance. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, because you can see they were just kind of floofing around the window. So it was like, go up there to start dancing with them. So these guys, it was, I think it was the last man standing. I'm not sure if no, the other guy I think was alive or something. But then
No, that's how we started it. We started it with that. You got the first pick.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so Hove's dancing in the window. I was like, just keep dancing, keep these guys distracted. So he just keeps waving, keeps dancing. They start dancing back or whatever. And I crouch walk from our spawn point all the way around to behind them. And I just start sniping all of them. So I actually, like, they didn't see me at all. Like, I went all the way around, like, you know, that little,
the donut.
like little donut area, and then you kind of come around, and you come around back by like the outside heavy. So I went like, all the way back behind the rocks. And as this guy's dancing with Hove, I just headshot him, and then I double tapped the other guy on the ankles, and then everyone just collapsed on the last guy.
That's awesome.
It was amazing because it was the sweatiest match of all time. We were doing Trials help. We were helping Distant Highway, and it was 4-4 lighthouse game, no mercy.
Okay. That's what makes the story right there.
Yeah.
The fact that it was so tense. Because I've had that happen on that map too, but it's like the game kind of started that way.
It wasn't like, hey,
Exactly.
let's do this, it'll be fun. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, these guys are
need to win
camping.
this.
They're camping outside. They have control point. What do we do? And Papa Bear's like, just go up there and dance. And I was like, what? Why? And he was like, just do it. I was like, all right. And then we all rushed outside. They did get him up, and it ended up being like a crazy fight at the end. But it was, I didn't even know what to do. I was like speechless.
So just the fact that it went from like sweating that hard to like this like one little jovial moment of everyone dancing, and then it just went back to sweat like, immediately. The second a bullet was fired, it just went mad again.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Oh no, it was great.
Well, you know, we mentioned D2 earlier with the lag comment, like, and how it's not as noticeable in D2. I was wondering, Papa Bear, for you, how's D2 been, you know, since we've all kind of moved over and started playing that game? How you feeling about it?
I feel like I can just bait my teammates and get all the KD in the world by putting a single Midas shot into every person. So that's been great.
Cheater.
Exactly. It's like a good old fate bringer. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm trying to get like fate bringer and get like a 15 KD, you know?
For real. Running around with that 5 KD Crucible emblem.
Walk around, just have all the kids from Optic do all the work and just tickle everyone else to get the KD. No, man, it was no, it's actually I do enjoy it in many ways, but then like I said, obviously it has its problems. Everyone, you know, but it's like that's a dead horse that's being beaten with another dead horse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah, and not only that, but like Bungie in the TWAB today was like, we agree with a lot of the sentiment that the community has, which I'm excited to get to that
Speaking of
later.
the TWAB, yes, it is. No, not too much later because we have games to play after the TWAB. So
Okay, so we need to like
TWAB
jump into the TWAB like
pretty
now.
soon because
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
DONGCAST games coming.
I don't.
Lord.
That doesn't sound good.
This
So-
episode, like, this couldn't have worked out better. Like it's episode 76, so it's DONGCAST. We got Papa Bear on, who, as much as I give him a ton of shit, he's one of the first people outside. Like, even it was when I first got in Rezo that I met him. It was when you still got messages like, "Oh my God, are you in Rezo?" or just like GG, and they're only messaging you because you're in Rezo.
to be fair, like
So-
when I was playing with these kids that like one of the guys I was playing with was it was an LFG group I was playing with, and I came up against, I think it was Rex, Rally, and Hove.
Yeah.
And one of the guys I was with, I'm like, oh, this is KG Hovey's clan, you know, because that's what everybody says. So, and I'm sitting here going into this game like, we're about to get shit on so fucking hard. No, thinking, you know, in retrospect, it's fucking Hove, Rex, and Rally.
Fuck you.
Rex carried so hard. And that was legit what it was. It was like, but I sent him to GG, and then I thought, and like, because it was a good game, it was like it was pretty close at the end of it. And then at the end of it, I thought, fuck, I'm that guy who sends the GGs to the Rezo kids afterwards.
Yeah, it was when I still like took the time, like, oh, that's a nice person sending me a GG, so I like responded, and somehow, like, you know, most of the time you just kind of like end it right there. for whatever reason, like we ended up playing or whatever, and hold your make sure you're sitting down, and don't have a heart attack here because I'm gonna be nice for a second. Since then, Papa Bear has actually been like one of my best friends in Destiny. We don't get to play as much anymore because US UK thing, but yeah, just a random message. GG, I beat your ass, in Wes words, and now he's on the podcast. And it's Dongcast.
It warms my little heart.
It's gonna be a good time, and I have games later. I have to. Man, I didn't catch this earlier. I'm gonna send you guys a link because there's a game we're gonna play at the end here. But I didn't want to send. I didn't want to send them to you ahead of time because then you'd already know.
Oh Lord! Listen, I told you I'm not.
Oh,
yeah, I have no idea.
Was he on like strip Scrabble or something?
That's not allowed on Twitter.
You're not far.
Okay,
we're getting
butt naked right now.
Yep.
That's why we got no webcam, man. It's 3 a.m. I'm naked.
Hey, I have the power to turn on his webcam, don't I?
Don't do it in this case.
You?
It was really weird.
Watch out, Papa. I have the power.
Luckily, I wasn't trying to actually dodge the face cam. I was actually confused why I wasn't, so I was actually ready. And then all of a sudden, I look up and I see myself. I'm just like, what?
I didn't try it out until I knew that Mana was actually trying to turn it on himself, because otherwise they could have been bad, man.
Mana always turns it on.
Okay, so
yeah, absolutely.
I can't recover from that. There's no transition point, but we need to go into the TWAB.
You better brace yourself, Lego.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna be doing this the entire episode, but we gotta go fast. Because that's what's happening next, the Go Fast update. And we got a lot of info about it. I don't know if I want to read through exactly everything that's in here because there is a ton, but we'll start off with, they actually gave specifics for what's happening. Well, I guess before we get into like what they're doing with the classes, we got to talk about the first thing that I think was the biggest thing about the TWAB is they kind of recognized like the community wanted recognition or affirmation in their struggle to like PvP to be fun. And they said, we've seen two key areas, and they put quotes, time to kill and team shooting that, we've heard from the community. So we set our sights on reworking systems, mechanics, and values to tackle those two areas. And so, I think that's really big of them to actually say like, hey, we see your feedback. This is what it is. And then they respond saying, does this mean you're actually going to change time to kill? And they're saying, we agree with you that it feels too slow. They're not necessarily changing time to kill, but they're making a lot of changes to the speed of players, the ammo economy, and that kind of stuff. And so first up is the respawn mechanic. And I know something's going on in chat right now because Hope has such a giant grin on his face right now. But the player respawn timers have been changed for basically every mode. Quick play, 2 seconds. Survival, 7 seconds. For countdown, 7 seconds. And players are no longer lose revive tokens on death. So a bunch of respawn stuff. You guys have any thoughts on? I feel like I need to get through all of this before we even give thoughts on one specific thing because it's like a complete overhaul, I don't feel like you can look at respawns, but with everything changing as a whole, it's kind of hard to say how that will play out or not.
The respawns have to work in conjunction with the player speed because respawns alone make the game faster, but not necessarily time to kill. So I think once you at least get through the movement speed stuff, I think those two work in conjunction for that. So
yeah,
I mean, I do think even on its own though, I do think it does help. It just keeps you more involved in the game, keeps more people alive. So I think on its own, it does help speed up the game. Not in the way of like you're physically moving faster, but there's more going on all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And go ahead.
So especially if you die a lot, like I know I rush a lot, so I tend to die a lot. So I feel that makes me feel like, hey, I'm not dead all the time. I'm just,
No, you'll still be dead all the time.
I'm just respawning. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they talk about
they're just respawning.
And when they talk about it in terms of seconds, like that's a lot quicker for like 2 seconds may sound like not that long, but when you're sitting there waiting and I don't know what the respawn timer is right now in quick play, but it feels decently fast. And for 2 seconds to have been reduced by like that is going to be, I think you're going to feel that,
Oh, I'll make sure you feel it.
I know you will.
2 seconds less of me mashing the square button.
Yes, exactly. Our controllers will live a little bit longer.
Hey, man, I go through those a lot.
Played with
Okay,
those,
I need
I think.
this.
You need this update.
I have like 5 controllers now.
Oh my gosh. Well, the next thing on their list was power ammo being adjusted, and they talked a little bit about this before, I think, but power ammo, they gave kind of specifics. Power ammo respawn timers and Iron Banner have been reduced 50%. That is a ton, but it's also 66, so we want more of those people picking up that ammo. Power ammo respawn timers for quick play modes have been reduced 30%. Power ammo respawn for survival 40%, and for countdown 25% been reduced 25%. So then on top of all that, they said they adjusted some of the ammo that you pick up now. Basically, swords and rockets are being brought down just a little bit, is what they said. It won't really affect anything else. And also with power ammo,
no, it said those are the only ones coming down. Everything else
Everything
is
going up
or staying the same.
Oh, okay, yeah, going up. So I'm curious to see how much it goes up. Like, that'll make sense though, because if you were to kill someone, you'd want to get a good portion of that brick of ammo and not just like, oh, here's 1 round or something like that. So hopefully that keeps it going for a little bit longer. And then also enemy players now drop their power ammo on death, which is what I was just referring to. And it's networked to all players, regardless of what team they're on. And it'll just disappear at some point. And so be sure to pick it up as quick as you can. But yeah, that's everything with power ammo. That's just a lot of changes for power ammo. How you guys feeling about that stuff? I'm excited to steal some power ammo from somebody else and pick it up from my teammates when they die carelessly with it after stealing it from me.
I was going to say, no, that won't happen because you don't let anyone get power ammo.
Exactly. I mean, and if I don't put it to good use, then you have a chance to pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it die fearlessly, or it's like, oh, this guy's got my back, and Lego's like, nah, you're on your own, so I can pick it up as soon as you die.
Exactly.
I do, obviously we'll see how these all play out, and again, in conjunction with everything else. But the one thing that I'm happy about with some of these changes, and the next section kind of goes to this point too, it's not blanket changes like we've been so used to. It's not just, hey, we're changing this. It's, hey, in this mode we're doing this. With this weapon type we're doing this. So it should, in theory, work better, right? It's not
That's
just,
a good point.
Hey, hand cannons need their range knocked down, and then the low range fast fire ones suck ass.
Exactly.
Also, they're really taking their time. Go ahead, Bobby Bear.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a really specific one. Like I think it was, I'm jumping ahead of it a little bit here, but like when they're saying with hand cannons, obviously they're buffing the precision damage on some of them and all that. But there's a whole separate one that says just in PvE, they're reducing the damage that the explosive rounds do. So obviously that's like a change that's specific to, because everyone's saying, oh, why can't we balance one and the other? Yeah. Why does one change have to affect both? Whereas I think that's something they're doing a good job of addressing of, this is something that we're only doing for PvE. This is something that's not going to affect PvP. So even though the precision damage is going up and the explosive rounds are going to hurt a little bit less in PvE, that doesn't necessarily mean in PvP it's going to be the case. So in PvP, it's just an overall buff. Whereas in PvE, it's a slight nerf, but a buff at the same time. So it kind of shows that they're making more of an effort there.
Yeah, that's good.
And as far as the heavy ammo goes, I think it's going to be really cool because, like we're saying, everyone's still going, oh, but rockets, like, because that was the main thing, is everyone's, oh, we want a special slot back. But if they're reducing the amount of rockets that you get and then increasing the amount of shotguns that you get, like shotgun shells that you get, I'm thinking this, like as a smarter player, is going to make me think, I just want to use my shotgun. Because why would I want to go for one rocket that might get like 2 kills, where I can just infinitely go around with a shotgun, like killing other people with heavy and getting more shotgun ammo? When it's, I mean, if you're the person with power ammo, it's just as strong whether it's rockets or shotguns, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have like 12 shotguns than one rocket,
which is
cool.
something that we kind of thought was going to be that way from the beginning. And I don't think it quite played out that way. You remember we said, like, well, if rockets are in the same slot as shotgun, snipers, fusions, what incentive is there to use any of those? And we thought it would be the ammo count, but I don't think it was quite enough.
Yeah, because I mean, you get 4 shotgun rounds for a heavy box, and you get 2 rockets, which is like, sometimes it takes 2 shotgun shots just to kill somebody.
Exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm really excited for those changes. I think I think it's just gonna put a lot more ammo on the table, which is what they want. And I love what they said afterwards. They said all these changes coalesce to create an experience that relies less on clumping with your team and focuses more on rewarding quick reflexes, thinking, and movement. And I feel like that's what I've wanted to see, and they even mentioned, but I think it was previously before this, mentioned they wanted to see like more plays at one point and stuff like that. And I feel like this will just like keep things flowing and also let plays keep happening. Cause that's what I loved about Mayhem. Honestly, it just felt like I just always had something powerful to go after the next person with. And if people keep coming at you and you keep taking their power ammo, you're going to keep having power ammo. I don't know. It sounds like fun, honestly. So I'm excited to try these changes for you. And it's so soon. I can't wait.
Oh, man, it's right around the corner. I can't wait, dude. That was another thing that I found. Oh, what was I going to say, man? I completely forgot. 3 a.m. hit me real hard.
My hype took it away. Sorry.
His hype went out from under my wings. No, it's going to be great because that, like you were saying, Mayhem, that was a great part of it. It was I didn't feel afraid to push at any point.
Yeah.
Whereas there's still sometimes in quick play, I'm like, I better not because I'm just going to get like booted and just dunked on. Especially now that the radars are going away and like comp and things like that.
Yeah, dude, let's get to that. That's the next thing on the menu is, they talked about what about competitive, because we know it plays differently and they wanted to make it actually different. So competitive and trials, we're getting spooky trials back basically, right? Like,
Pretty
isn't
much,
that what this is?
Without the jump scares.
Yeah, without the jump scares. Yeah. But
Unless you're playing with mana.
Dude, that week was just crazy.
It was great.
I couldn't find anyone. You guys saw the clip from Hovey's side, right? Where he was dead trying to give me information where the enemy was. Every time I would shift that direction, the guy would move. You know how between comms, between players, there's like that 1 second delay. So by the time he's giving me information, he's already moving. I'm moving a different direction. So I just start freaking out because I'm panicking. Hovey's laughing at me.
That was on Pantheon, or not Pantheon.
It was the one moon map, the Cauldron.
Cauldron,
I think.
Yeah. It was in the little A room with the lantern. I remember that.
Yep.
That was my favorite. I love that clip. It was my second favorite behind you Titan slamming off the wall in Pantheon.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I 100% knew you were going to say that.
I like it in theory, and I think it'll be good. I know a lot of the complaints I've seen, because people seem to be really upset about that whole thing so far.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. I haven't.
No radar in competitive and trials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before it was just like an event, and this is like where they're gonna run it now. Mm-hmm. And I just read it for the first time just a little while ago, and so I haven't really looked at the online feedback yet that people are getting. But I'd imagine with the because it's basically spooky trials without the scary things popping up, the spiders
revives.
and no revives, that too. But revives are a lot slower, so it'll play out kind of similarly. Well, and the reactions in D1 were super negative towards, or at least it was like half and half. It felt like a lot of people hated it.
They were super divided, super
broad.
Divisive.
Yeah,
divisive. There you go. Yes, they were divisive, and I personally loved it, but I could see like the backlash coming out with that. But it does. Here's what it does. That's awesome. Is it separates those playlists, particularly competitive, significantly. Yeah. And it needed that. It needed something to differentiate itself.
Yes.
And while I don't think I'm going to be particularly great at that game mode, because I rely on the radar so much,
yes, you do.
and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun whenever there would be that playlist in D1 where there was no radar. I forgot what they called it. Inferno. Yes, exactly. And it was so fun to just go in there and turn your HUD off too, like in your settings, and so you just have like all your clips are so nice and
All your
clean.
what?
All the clips.
Oh, okay.
And
How doesn't
so
get those?
wow.
yeah. I know you're not keeping track, for your YouTube Hove, but
Nana gets it.
clearly. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It just opens up the doors. It'll be fun too to learn and to get better at that style of playing.
Yes.
It's gonna open up like a whole new like strategy of playing, basically.
Yeah.
I agree with you on differentiating the playlist, and that was a big point I was going to make. To expound on that, and god damn it, Wendler already said it in chat. I'm agreeing with Wendler again. One, yes, it does differentiate them because, that was one of the things people complain about is with nothing really being different in competitive, it's just different game modes. Mm-hmm. Why were people going to go there instead of quick play? So quick play was sweaty. Now, granted, ranks and all that are still coming and it'll probably make a bigger difference, but it does give you something completely different. And this is coming from someone, I didn't like Inferno either. Because it was, I don't want to say it was harder, but I guess it was kind of harder. You had to like pay more attention. You couldn't run around like an asshole because I'm an asshole.
That's why I don't play it.
Yeah. But I think it does incentivize teamwork a lot more because you have to watch for flanks and stuff like that. And the part that Wendler said that I totally agree with is a lot of the people are complaining that it's going to promote camping even more.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Well, here's one thing between Spooky Trials and now. One of the biggest things people bitched about with Spooky Trials is that was also during sticky nades. Everybody used to just hide, throw a sticky nade, run away.
That is also true, actually.
So
really true.
That won't be as big of a deal. But my thought, I think Countdown will be fine because there's still a time central objective. So you can't just camp. Teams can't just sit around. Somebody's got to go plant. Someone's got to do the objective.
Wait, was Spooky Trials, was that only on Cauldron? That's the only time it played, right?
No, Anomaly.
Oh, so it was just moon maps that happened.
Yeah. Anomaly was the time that it was a lot of sticky grenades
because it was already a shotgun type of map.
Yeah.
I missed Anomaly.
So yeah, I think survival could become problematic depending on how these other changes affect things because it's already kind of campy at times because it's just kills. You get a lead, you hide. But I think Countdown will be fine. I mean, it's going to promote more teamwork. It's going to allow for more flanks, and there's an objective to play. So I'm excited for it. And like I said, that's coming from someone who I never played Inferno ever. I hated it.
Yeah, same.
Exactly.
So,
and I feel like a lot of the people that are complaining about Inferno or just Inferno in general are a lot of like the trial Sherpas because I mean it's already hard enough with the population.
I was also thinking about that. It's going to be harder to help just normal players if you're doing like Ravels and all that because now you're going to have to rely more about communication. You can't use radar.
Yes.
Exactly. So, like you can't be carrying 7-year-olds or like Lithuanian chimpanzees or anything. Like you have to actually talk to people.
Very specific.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty specific there.
I was just trying to think of the most foreign thing. That was the first thing I thought of.
You're pretty foreign.
Hey, listen. I am a just amalgamation of all kinds of nations, and I've got none of the good traits of any of them. So.
Also true. Yeah. Somebody in Itchy.
I wish I had the Japanese in me because then I'd be good at the games.
Kami asked in chat if there's chimps in Lithuania, which is what I was thinking too. I don't.
I'm sure there's a zoo or two.
That doesn't count, but they're not Lithuanian chimps.
Well, maybe they were born in captivity. So I mean, wouldn't that?
Exactly.
I don't think citizenship works the same for chimps. I started to.
I don't know.
Guys, this is some real 3 a.m. crap when we're talking about chimp citizenship.
Real questions right now, okay? Asking the real stuff.
Oh my lord. Well, I mean, I'm an ape anyway, so it kind of fits.
I don't even know where Lithuania is, to be fair. So I was like,
somewhere in Europe,
just away from us. That's all I know.
It's exactly. About a 2-hour drive from Narnia.
Oh, nice.
Actually, next time I get killed by like a kid whose name is written in Russian with a shotgun, I'm just gonna call him a Lithuanian chimp.
Wow.
Because I just got aped.
Jesus. Triton, what are your thoughts? You got anything on the competitive changes?
I mean, I think it's good. We've talked a lot of times about how they should separate those things. So I think they addressed them right up front. And it seems like the other thing I saw in the notes was that they supported this with like a lot of playtesting, like weeks of playtesting. So it's just not one of those, hey, we're going to separate it because we know you want it. It clearly seems that they put some time into, testing that divide. So I think it's pretty good, and hopefully we'll see how it plays out. And I'm glad that they kind of kept some of those things competitive and some of those things in the other modes, because I still think that a lot of those things were designed the way the Crucible is to be for competitive play. So the fact that they're kind of making that difference still kind of keeps the door open for like, hey, what do we think about this as competitive mode for future support for maybe tournaments or things like that, whereas they can clearly separate that and say, hey, if you just want to have fun, you can go into here. So I think the changes are good, and hopefully they play out and people are pretty receptive to them.
Were you good in D1 with no radar Triton? Like, how did you feel about that as a game mode?
Hove and I actually played the Spooky Trials. I think we did.
I'm just kidding. We did.
Okay, we definitely did. And we had a ton of fun. I think when we actually had that podcast, we were the two that really, really enjoyed the Spooky Trials experience. So I didn't have like any problems with that whatsoever. So I guess I'm not one of the people who, I don't carry anybody. I certainly don't do that. So it doesn't really affect me in any way, but I enjoyed it. So maybe they could shake it up a little bit. Maybe it doesn't always have to necessarily be that, but I didn't mind it.
I was such 50-50 in Spooky Trials. I really didn't know. Like I steered away from what is it, Inferno or whatever it's called, because I was afraid of just getting like I only played it a couple times and I just got killed by shotgunners creeping around. So I just kind of gave up. So I didn't really give it a chance. I played a lot of Spooky Trials and it was such a mix.
Yeah.
Of I'm kind of having fun at the same time. I'm also pulling my hair out, but then the next game I'm having fun again. I'm just like, I don't know how to feel. So
yeah, I just can't even imagine how it's gonna play out in D2, because in D2 it's just such a different game.
Yeah, so
wise,
I really don't know. And plus, I obviously haven't been playing it as much as anyone like in this group, so like I don't even know.
Keep in mind, it's also different game modes than it was in D1 too.
Also true.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is true.
But I feel like there's still we're still going to run into those teams that do just like pick up heavy and then just crouch in corners with shotguns. Like that's definitely going to be a thing, because especially if there's more ammo to go around.
I'm actually really curious about Countdown. How you guys were saying Countdown, it might actually be really good for.
I think I think it definitely could be really good.
Because the objective pushes people together. Like inevitably they will clash together, so there's not going to be as much camping. But survival.
Yeah.
Does survival only go to flag if the teams are tied in kill score?
Yeah.
I wish they would change that. I wish it would go to flag no matter what, unless somebody has like only 3 lives left, you know, like where their full team isn't up.
Unless
or something
the team has been like properly wiped. Like unless you're completely wiped, it should go to overtime.
Exactly, yeah. Because it gets dumb. I feel like that's just a problem with survival in general, where you'll kill a team until they're down just 1 point below you and then just go hide in the back. And it's like, well, we won.
I see where you're coming from with that, but as it stands now, camping's a problem because of the team that's winning, right? Because, hey, we're ahead. Don't you think hiding would become a problem in the opposite side of that? Hey, we're down a lot. Let's just hide for overtime.
Yeah,
but you would still be forced to clash at the end there, whereas like the winning team can just run indefinitely in the way it is set up now.
Right.
I get what Hope's saying though. Like it does go the other way as well. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Props, Hove.
That's why it's the DONGCast.
Oh my god, I do. Yeah. I don't know, but it'll be interesting, because I mean, there's always going to be those teams that'll do it, just because it's just a strat. At the end of the day, it's if the best thing to do is hide and you're trying to win, then there's going to be people that are going to do it.
Yeah, I do agree with you all about this change, that communication is going to be a huge thing as well too, because you're going to have to talk so much more. Like even we talked about somebody mentioned crouching around in corners, but crouching isn't really going to matter because there's no radar anyway.
Well, I feel like that's a figure of speech in this
situation.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. But it's going to be very...
that's why Lego's sad, because that's what he does. He literally is the guy who crouch walks.
Is the prize enemy, yes. But I move. I'm not like just stationary crouching. Yeah. Just if I'm like, I'll slide into where I think somebody is.
Exactly. I'm done. We need to move on.
Yeah, Lego thinks he's playing Skyrim.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. And
are you pushing this podcast ahead? Are you taking taking charge.
Well, we've been talking about
He wants to
that
play
one-
these games so
Well,
bad.
not just
So
that, but we've been
impressed.
talking about that one part at the very beginning for quite a long time. Also, I DM'd you guys something. Don't check it yet. It's
Oh
a
my
surprise.
Oh,
I
God.
don't even
Oh,
know
Lord.
now.
The
I'm not
games-
ever gonna check
The
it.
games are ready. No, it's the game.
So, we have a lot. I wanted to stay on that subject for just a second because that's a huge change. It honestly like is the biggest game type change other than the ones we've already talked about. 66 coming back, Rumble, and everything else is weapon subclass changes, which is also huge, but not an actual game type change. So, subclass changes are next. I think we've got updated version, a list of changes first detailed from February 1st, TWAB, but here's the updates or highlights for everything going fast. All 3 glides plus catapult and strafe lift have been returned and buffed to
Retuned.
make them fast. Do what?
Retuned.
No. Does mine say something different?
No, you just can't read.
No, mine doesn't say retune. That's funny. And make them faster and more unique.
Did you write it yourself?
No, I didn't. I'm reading off the TWAB, like
So am
directly.
What?
You
So
also-
I.
I must
I
have.
think
They
there
must
were-
have changed something. I
They
don't
did
know.
change a couple things. I remember there was I think it was Damage put up that he like if you refresh the TWAB, there's a second like version because they've added like little clips as well of like how the game is going to work.
I just want to. Maybe y'all need to refresh. Oh, mine does say retune now. You're right. They changed it. Okay.
Oh, Lego
Just
learned
need
to
to
read.
catch up to us.
Okay, so I had an old version of the TWAB. That's interesting. Okay, so all 3 glides plus catapult and straight lift have been retuned and buffed to make them faster, more unique. The mobility stat range has been expanded and completely returned as well. In short, everyone gets faster and the high end is higher. The player's ground speed has been increased, allowing for faster total movement speed, regardless of how you may get there. So I'm going to stop there for a second because that was a lot. But yeah, jumps being faster is pretty awesome, particularly as a Titan. That's exciting, but also as a Warlock, because I hate playing Warlock right now. Like I hate playing it just because of the gliding jumps and how terrible they feel.
What's your favorite Warlock subclass, though?
I would have to say that it is Dawn
We're judging
Blade?
you no matter what.
No, it is the Dong Blade.
I just want to hear you say it.
Like, I'm not going to say that.
I mean, I won't. I'll if you want to see some dong, you give me the 2 words, Titan and skate directly next to each other, and I would just
Here's the
explode.
thing. I agree with you. Well, I don't agree that that'll
You never agree
show
with
my,
me.
What?
show
What?
my
I
Dong.
don't. Oh
But-
gosh.
I don't
You've
think.
seen it anyway.
I think that's where they're going
Yeah.
with this, but I don't think. Like, here's my thought: they're not going to say, "Hey, we're bringing back Titan skating,",
skating,
even if
yeah.
they would specify it's going to be toned down, because people will see Titan skating, and then when it's
And
not
if it's
as
broken,
fast.
yeah.
Well, not even
Yep.
that, and then it won't be as fast, and everyone will freak out and say, "This isn't Titan skating," and then they'll have
Exactly.
to clarify 8 times. We said like not as
This
fast.
is like-
So in
Well,
this,
it's still Titan skating, but it's like the like roller rink kind with the 4 wheels with the grandma skates, not the inline skating we're used to.
Okay.
Okay.
I can go with that.
Bit more roll bounce, you know.
okay, but yeah, I think that's kind of what they're moving back to. They just are. They can't say we're going to make
Yeah,
it like
this-
D1 or Titan skating because
Exactly.
that'll just it won't be
They
that.
can't. They have to be careful with the piranhas that are now the Destiny community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is that the mobility stat range they mention here is interesting because expanded and completely retuned. In short, everyone gets faster and the high end is higher because they mentioned before that they actually couldn't change mobility, the run speed mobility because of like loadings, like all these caps basically, like that weren't in control of just like maybe they wanted to make it go a little faster, but they've retuned it to where that's possible. And so I just can't wait to try and see what that even feels like.
Yeah.
Not that I'm expecting it to like blow my mind like super fast, but just everything in total, I feel like is going to be a brand new experience, which I'm missing so much right now. And I'm like, I feel like the whole community is like really ready for this, especially those who are still playing, and those who aren't, I feel like will probably want to come back and at least try this out because I feel like it's going to feel like a whole new PvP.
I, for one, is one of those people. I'd definitely come back and check it out. Hey.
Yes,
Definitely.
is.
And maybe one day you guys will actually invite me to play with you, and I'll actually
Yes.
be let's do it. I have the game again.
To be, I want to clarify. We do invite Mana to come play PUBG with us all the time, just not D2 because
All the time. It's
not
it's
all the
always
time.
on Thursday
You're right.
nights.
It's not all the time.
It's always
like
on
Thursday
Thursday
nights.
It's always on Thursday nights. You know, that night that we invited
That's
you to be
because
on
I
a
know
podcast with
everybody's
us.
around. Yeah.
I go to sleep, man.
That's true. It's true. I need to get in his. Nope, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say get in his sleep schedule, and I was like, that's not what I was going for.
Oh, it was.
Lego
I couldn't-
all up in
More
Mana's
high
sleep
Lego.
schedule.
Um,
All right, we got so much more. Let's keep going.
yes. Hove, do you want to take over? I feel like you'd be better.
Hove is the leadership right now.
Yeah, you should do it.
Okay.
He's the one screaming, "I'm in charge!" But
I know.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you know how to be a manager? You manage. You don't do the work. You tell people to do the work.
It's true.
Is that what I just did? I think it is.
Yeah.
Hove, do you want to take over the rest of this
Responsibility
here?
has been delegated.
Yes, I will accept back my responsibility. Where did you stop? I wasn't paying attention.
Arc Strider, Sentinel. I'll read this next one.
No,
Arc Strider
you
is-
will not. Arc Strider, Sentinel, and Striker all move faster and at the same speed as one another while in their supers. Arc Strider as a whole is performing well in PvP, but mostly due to its neutral game perks. We've made the following changes in an effort to get the super to be more competitive. Faster attack animations, faster dodge animations, increased range of all attacks.
Which
Super happy about all this.
I dig it.
Yep.
And I have to put in here as well. I played this week the D2 games that I played this week. I played on Arc Strider only, just because I was like, I just want to try it. I know changes are coming eventually to this, and like I heard they mentioned in a previous TWAB that the neutral game was pretty good. So I was like, I just want to try it out and see how it is. Yeah, I got a undefeated like sum of all tier whatever we ran out of medals. Like with Fatebringer, we both didn't die the entire game. I had 21, he had 25.
Sounds like he's better than you.
He is better. Clearly, I have no argument. He's better than me. But to do that on a class that I never play on and just jumped on for a second just to try out the neutral game, I was like, wow, this is crazy good.
I just want to say Papa Bear and I played Fatebringer in a tournament once, and we waxed him.
For real?
Yeah.
Waxed them.
Wow.
Waxed.
It was
Was
the REZO House
probably
3v3 tourney.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
We played Mana
Yeah,
then
and
too.
then Mana beat our ass. Shh.
Yeah.
Wait, one of you guys was using a
Papa
bubble,
Bear. He was
right?
bubble titan. Yeah.
Always, my
We
dude.
didn't know what to do about
I know.
that.
The first game,
Exactly.
we
It was
were
great.
we were up for like 80% of the game, and then Hammy's internet just destroyed us.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
It's just like,
I remember watching, like going back to watch, because you and Tash were both streaming.
yeah,
And you were
that's
like,
right,
what
Tash,
are they doing? Is that a bubble? And like, no one knew what to do.
That's
We're like, oh
what-
my
We were
God,
actually
we
we
might
were
win this
confused,
game.
and we started getting salty because we didn't know how to fight against it. We're like, what is this? What are we supposed to do against this?
This was back right before Bubbles got banned from tournaments, right? Like for the
Yeah.
Orb generation or something like
Exactly.
that.
I guess, yeah, this was
Well,
a
'cause
while
I was-
ago.
I think it was
'Cause this
just
is
that
like-
one perk got banned, right?
Yeah, it was one.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like the one that gives you extra for like if people shoot your bubble or something like that. So, but no, because I remember because this is back when I used to actually try like really hard, and I was like actually in like sweating, and I remember I was like, guys, said nobody uses bubble titans because this is back when this is before like Fimi came out with Fun Police and all that, and came out with like bringing bubble titans to the front. And it was like nobody used the defenders because like, oh, what's the point of using a super that doesn't kill, So I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the only guy that does sweats that uses a bubble, and everyone hated me so much.
No, it truly is like seeing all the hate that Destiny Fun Popo gets and all that. Like bubble is truly a triggering thing.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. And, like, I was a nice guy about it. Imagine being like Fimi who goes around like
Yeah, I know, right?
beating up people all the time, taking a selfie and then punching him to death.
You
Like,
never see that in the Crucible. You never see effective bubble usage, and when it happens, you're just like, that man, I hate him.
Here was the best part
Well,
about that though. Like that game, we were up the whole game, and they came back and beat us at the end.
yeah.
And Hammy's internet was really bad, and there was no
Oh,
rule
it
about
is.
it. So Mana and Tash were real cool about it, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to wipe that one? We'll play another one." And we were like, "Yeah, okay, let's wipe it." And then they beat us by like 5,000 points.
Yeah. Well, because I think we were like on Timekeeper too, so it played well to my bubble. I had like loads of places I could just pop suppressor nades off the walls,
Which one
and
was Timekeeper?
it's the
Mercury,
the Vex one on Mars.
outside.
Yeah.
Mars.
The one he
Yeah.
danced on.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I do remember that now. Yeah.
Because I remember it's like that's one of those places where I can like come around a corner and just drop a bubble directly on top of a team.
It's
Yeah.
just like, what do we do? When they have it?
And
It's
then
like, shit.
and then they offered to find a replacement for him since his internet was so bad. And we were like, I mean, we don't want to kick him out. And they were like, oh, Hovey's ready. He'll come play. We were like, yep, nope, we'll build the internet.
We tried.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Okay, but anyway, getting back to that, I think one of the things about this that's really cool, Arc Strider, Sentinel, and Striker all move faster and at the same speed while in the supers. That was one of the big complaints that Striker had that like big movement buff and felt faster and quicker, and Arc Strider felt so slow. So now they're both at that faster speed and faster attack and dodge animations. I think that's gonna be big. I think that's exactly what it needed. Whether it's enough or not, we'll find out. But I think it's a step in the right direction.
So I have a theory about why it's kind of slow to begin with. I feel like the art team at Bungie was like, these dodge animations look so
cool.
sick. We got to let people see them. And they slowed it down a little bit, you know, because they do look really cool, but it just is so hard to use effectively.
Yeah. And I think like the main thing that made it, because it's kind of like what Hove was saying about like Titan skating. Like if you bring back Titan skating and call it Titan skating, it's going to like trigger people because it's not going to be the same. And I feel it's kind of the same with Arc Strider and Arc Blade, because Arc Blade I feel wasn't that much faster, but because of the ridiculous lunge it had, it made it feel so much better. Like you could, like I went back and played D1 and played an Arc Blade, and you can close gaps so quickly just by like one or two swings.
It was like, because you can like zigzag back and forth while using the attack in D1.
Like you could lunge one way, lunge back, and then just get on them.
You can't really do that. You kind of just commit whenever you're using it.
Yeah,
and it's like, if you use the dodge, you can still easily be shot while dodging around. So it's just like, it was pretty underwhelming.
Especially on console when you have like the amount of aim assist in a auto rifle meta.
Yeah.
Like it's different. If it were like all hand cannon meta again, I think it would still be a little bit more difficult because you would have to, 3-tap them or 4-tap them or whatever.
Yeah.
Auto rifle, you can just keep spraying and just follow them wherever they're going, even if they're dodging, and they almost like auto aim and just kind of like goes for it. So.
All right, so we're good with that. Previous shoulder charge changes are being reverted, allowing shoulder charge to be used as movement mode once again. Cool.
Yes.
Next one, Dong Blade has been improved. Reduced cost for reduced cost for throwing swords, 1 additional throw. Increased super duration extension gain from everlasting fire. Removed all in-air accuracy penalties while Swift Strike is active.
Dude, that's important too. That's like really awesome.
Reduce the Icarus dash cooldown, which is kind of like giving you a little bit closer to.
Wait, did it reduce or did it remove? Last time I saw it was removed.
It's reduced.
Okay.
Maybe they removed it and then we're like, wait, and they
They probably changed it, yeah. Because they said removed, that would just be like Twilight Garrison.
You can trust my reading. Lego may not be able to know the difference.
I refreshed my TWAB, okay? That sounds so weird.
Increase the grenade and melee energy that heat rises gives you per kill. So, I mean, we'll see how they all play out. I don't think any of those are super big, do you?
I mean, no, I do think the removed all in-air accuracy penalties for Swift Strike, I mean, I feel like that's pretty huge. Is Swift Strike the one that lets you stay in the air or shoot while in the air, basically, right?
Sure.
I can't imagine what else they'd be talking about.
No. Swift Strike is it's the equivalent of like the overshield you used to get in D1. Like if you punch somebody, you get like a 6-second like weapon buff.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's also awesome because then whenever there's that one exotic that lets you stay in the air while you're aiming, but the in-air accuracy is so bad that it's not worth using at all. And so I never I want
it was
to
that bad.
Dude, it's so bad.
I mean, you could like legit just punch someone in the mouth, jump in the air, hover, and snipe somebody from on the other side of the map.
So now you'll be able to do that, basically.
Exactly. So someone tell TV, Sky Sniper.
Yeah, Sky Sniper's back. Exactly. Back. So now I'm just saying right now, D2 is not an in-air game at all.
No, they specifically said they got rid of that aspect, which is disappointing.
And to have something that that's what makes subclasses interesting is when they break something from the game. I mean, I know exotics are really what's supposed to do that, but that exotic that lets you float in the air is actually gonna break the game in a way, because if you have that perk active,
I was gonna say that's only for if you're using the one skill tree though, right? Because the other skill tree allows that without it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Invisibility on dodge/smoke updates. Invisibility on dodge no longer breaks aim assist or projectile tracking in PvP. It's unchanged in PvE. Dodging still breaks both aim assist and projectile tracking, but only for the duration of the actual dodge.
Yeah.
Right. So no more invis Night Stalkers like walking right up to a Stormcaller in full super and like, oh, you can't hit me with your tickle fingers because, you know.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
I forgot about that. That was
Like, it was a legit thing. I remember because I was running with a buddy of mine who like mains Stormcaller, and he was so upset because we kept running into those teams of the 4 Night Stalkers, and he's like, "There's no point in me even popping my super because they're just all gonna shade step with their jesters and then just giggle at me as they shoot me down."
I'll giggle at you. To finish that out real quick, increase the duration of invisibility on dodge by 1 second, and increase the duration of smoke bomb invisibility by 1 second. I don't know why they didn't just put those two together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to be... I like these changes, though, because it decreases the annoying thing and increases, like, something that helps you be, like, sneaky in a different way, you know? So I like that.
Exactly. That makes me wonder how, like, useful Invis will be in, like, comp because of, you know, the whole, like, there's not going to be a radar anyway.
Yeah, I'm
in quick play. I can see it because you go invis and flank, and then you can kind of get a drop on people.
You're saying it won't be as useful in comp, right?
Yeah, or like trials anymore, because that was the whole thing. Like the way I would use it is I would go invis. Like I'd be clumped with my team so that we're all on the same part of the radar, and then I'd go invis so I can get out of the radar.
You know what else won't matter in trials anymore is jesters won't matter anymore because you don't have radar anyway.
Yeah, so you still get the disorientation of like the screen effect and everything and the buzz, but
just a flash.
It's just a flash, really. Yeah.
I didn't think that.
That'll be real nice.
Exactly. So I mean, still be obnoxious in quick play, but I mean,
yeah.
All right. Supers recharge faster for everyone. Supers now recharge 1 minute and 40 seconds faster, a cooldown reduction of 25%.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a
pretty
lot.
big.
Yeah,
that's pretty big.
Huge. Yeah, dude.
So does this carry over in? I'm assuming this carries over into PvE too, which is something that we've been wanting is like more fun in PvE because like people feel like PvP is holding PvE back, and so this is a nice change just overall. It's gonna be great.
Mods that reduce grenade, melee, and class ability cooldowns have been buffed to allow for up to 2 times faster cooldowns. And then they note this is not replacing mods 2.0, which was delayed. And then they give us more information.
Yeah,
this is just like general like
just
stacks, like having like a 3 stack of
So it's actually going to matter, you know, if you don't have because this happens to me. I want everything to be a legendary mod, but if I just use the rare mods that do like the increased solar grenade, whatever, those might be more useful to run than, you know, some random legendary. Like it'll actually matter. Like, hey, I'm running a solar class. Let's get the solar mods on all my armor because it'll be up to 2 times faster.
So, especially this kind of brings back in optimization.
Yes.
Again. So, exactly. I know a lot of people look actually forward to that. A lot of the competitive people love to try to get that perfect build that they have. So that's going in a really good direction.
And we'll see. I'm hopeful with mods 2.0 if they're delaying it and trying to make it a big change that'll really, you know, maybe in a way replace like random perks and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And they're changing some mods on weapons later in this TWAB too. Not a replacement of mods 2.0 either, but they're giving us a lot for now, even though we don't get mods 2.0. I feel like.
I think making them worthwhile is definitely a step in the right direction, right? Because like right now, I don't know if you can feel it. So 2 times more on a grenade cooldown, and like Mana mentioned optimization. Like I like having the stability perks and like the reload speed, for, like the PvP arms, but having maybe your class ability this time around, or I mean the grenade's always useful, but I mean that can lend to like a PvE side of things perhaps. So having that differentiating set I think would be pretty cool as well.
And you think, I'm not sure if they mentioned it, but do you think they'll affect like how much it stacks based on if it is a legendary or a rare?
I hope not.
Well, because I mean, like at the moment, light level doesn't really matter. If you're over 300, you're set. So, like you were saying, what's the point of having like, I like to have all purple mods because it makes me 335 or whatever. But what would be the point if I can just stack up the blues I want to get?
Well, it would just be annoying if you say you had like like some legendary mods, but then you were like, I need to, I don't know. Like, I feel like it would, I get what you're saying. It would be nice to have a reason to put the legendary mod on, but at the same time, it would just be a lot more of a grind, I guess, to be able to, like, I've been playing for so long and still don't have a matching set of all solar stuff for my Titan. I eventually got all the arc stuff for my Titan, but then I switched to Sunbreaker, and it's taken me so long to get the right set of mods to be able to do that. I don't know why, but it just,
I think it's just because you're bad.
Maybe it's just bad. Yeah, but I'm using like rare mods.
RNG, what's that?
All right, so that's everything for just kind of like gameplay.
Yeah.
We'll move on to weapons. There's still a lot to go here, so they do weapons then perks. So I'm just going to quickly go through all the weapons ones, and then we'll just talk about weapons as a whole. You good with that?
Sure. You want to do just every archetype individually or no? But yeah, you can do all of them. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do all that.
Okay.
We are talking a bunch over here.
There's a big list here.
Papa Bear is 5 hours ahead of us.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, so pulse rifles, they're increasing PvE damage for all pulses. And then the rest of these are just global. Rate of fire increase for adaptive and high impact. Base damage for adaptive, high impact, and rapid fire. Increased precision multiplier for lightweight pulses. Decreased precision multiplier for adaptive pulses. This keeps precision damage close to where it is now, putting most of the buff into body shots, though it is still an increase in precision damage overall. So I think that's good, right?
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that it's hard to tell because there's no percentages. There's no like we don't know how good everything's going to be. But it sounds like the goal for pulse rifles right now is going to be it's still your medium long range, but not as accurate as scout rifles. If you're really accurate, scout rifles are probably going to be a better bet. But if you want something that's just like I just need to get shots off at this person, these will be the good body to headshot ratio gun for you.
Yeah, basically it's bringing up body shot damage. And I guess to me it sounds like the way everything's coded is there's just a damage and then a specific number multiplier for precision. Yep. So if they would raise base damage, it would also raise precision by a lot.
Percent.
So basically their goal was just raise body damage, leave precision alone. So they closed that gap. So that's good. It makes it kind of more forgiving. It rewards you for hitting headshots, but it doesn't penalize you for not hitting them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
And to Lego's point about if we're, we have to test these things, which is obvious, we'll have to play those things. I think they definitely make all these changes so that you'll notice. Like if people go in this and they're like, it doesn't seem that different, and there will be some of those people, but I think a majority will have to be like, no, this feels different if this is their first and like the biggest thing people are waiting for in terms of the sandbox. So I think as Hope goes through these, all of these things, in my opinion, are going to be things that we'll notice immediately, hopefully.
Well, it's like a big thing I noticed in the difference between playing PC and playing console is that pulses are a lot more predominant on PC. I think it's because of the precision. Yeah, because you can control the recoil very well with the mouse. Yeah. So, and I feel like this might shift the meta a little bit that way because it is more forgiving. Because right now, pulse rifles, I feel like they kick a lot. And if you are trying to, like, especially when like the Mida meta was a big thing at the beginning of D2, if you were trying to outpulse a Mida, it's not like in D1 where if you had a good PDX that had like high cal on it, you could outpulse almost any scout. Whereas here, if you're not hitting exactly all the time, so I feel like this will be a good thing for like it might actually make a decent shift in the meta even without there being like a huge weapon buff, just having the accuracy. If you make the pulses a little bit more reliable, I feel like more people will be inclined to use them. Because right now it feels like there's not many pulses outside of like, what was it, Darkest Before and maybe like Vigilance Wing that are actually decent.
100%.
Yeah.
I think something that's very important to remember, you guys may not have ever known this, but I played Destiny one time, super drunk, and I drunkenly challenged Papa Bear to a 1v1 on stream, and I was shit-faced, and I won.
It's because he was just counterintuitive, like all the shit things he usually does that make him lose, he just didn't do.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inappropriate timing. I totally understand.
Still salty about it.
Scout rifles, they increase PvE damage for all scouts, increase base damage for high impact scouts. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised that we're not getting more, but we'll see how it plays out.
I mean, we've said this time and time again. Scouts are in a weird spot. I don't know what they can really do. Like, they're not bad.
Bigger
They just
maps.
don't have a place in the. Yeah, exactly. They just don't have a place in the game.
Yeah, I feel like I might have a comment once we get to auto rifles, but we'll get
I
there.
don't care about your comments. Hand cannons. They increased PvE damage for all hand cannons. I don't know if you noticed, but this is a. I'm going to tell you now. Every single weapon type.
Archetype,
the first thing is increased
PvE
damage. Hand cannons.
Which is great.
Increased precision multiplier for precision hand cannons. Sounds smart. Precision. Increased hip fire accuracy on consoles, which is great. And increased ADS accuracy on consoles. So they're making them more accurate, which is fantastic.
Good.
So great.
Yep. That right there should have been since beginning of D1. Just keep that.
But Bloom though.
But Bloom though. Oh God, that
It's
word.
weird. It is weird though that after all this time we kind of have like some confirmation from them, like, yeah, you guys are right. It does feel a little funny on consoles because for a long time it was like the coding's exactly the same as PC as on console, and I think it comes down to a feeling thing, and they're like, hey, yeah, here's increased hip fire and accuracy.
You know what I didn't think of? They
What's up?
can no longer tell us a blanket statement of it's the same sandbox on PC and console. Nothing's different because they're flat out telling us things are changing on console.
It's true. Yeah.
Sidearms, increased PvE damage, increased hip fire accuracy, increased ADS accuracy, increased inventory size, allowing more reserve ammo to be stored, increased minimum range, and they added an ADS movement bonus.
So
That's kind of cool. It needed something to get it. I mean, I know we've got what's the one everybody uses?
Last Hope.
The burst one, Last Hope. Yeah, I know we've got that, but other than that, there's nothing that really shines in the sidearm department, I feel like.
Exactly. You need to bring Trespasser or something back just because it was just an interesting gun.
Yeah.
That and just infinite ammo. It is great.
SMGs, increased PvE damage, set optics to 1.3x. What were they at before? Do we know?
Yeah, I was trying to think.
I don't know. I'm guessing they mean like it was at 1 and they're upping it 1.3 times what it was.
Maybe. Increased inventory size. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so I gotta say, that is so needed, especially in PvE. I run out. You never have ammo
that's true.
for SMG stuff in
Yeah.
PvE.
Man, what? You don't know.
No.
Everyone knows.
I played more PvE than I have PvP
That's
in
right.
Destiny on PC. And one thing
That's a lot of letters.
I loved a lot of acronyms. I loved using SMGs in PvE,
Mhm.
but like Lego said, you would run out so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun
Especially
to
on
run.
mouse and- because it felt so fluid on mouse and keyboard before the SMGs. I loved it. That's why I always used it.
I think
Yeah.
SMGs, with all these other things, at least the way I kind of use them, are going to be even better now. Because one of my favorite ways to use SMGs was almost solely hip fire. And kind of like
Yes.
as you were closing the gap, hip fire finish someone with a melee. You're a lot faster now.
Ah, yeah, that'll be cool.
So you can kind of push
get
up
some,
on someone, hip fire them on your way in, and finish them off with a punch.
I'm just
Huh.
thinking Defender with the syntheseps. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well, if you don't like SMGs and you haven't tried it yet, they're fun now. I'm sure they're going to be really fun once we have more ammo and we're going faster. But the Peacekeepers exotics on the Titan that let automatically reload your submachine gun for you, running 2 SMGs on your kinetic and your energy, and you're just constantly like you just keep
Can
firing.
someone clip that, please? Lego was just shooting something all over somebody.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
The
God.
Dongcast lives.
We went there.
Linear fusion rifles, increased PvE damage, increased precision multiplier, increased aim assist, reduced flinch multiplier.
Yes, reduce flinch. Thank you.
I'm happy with that. I like the increased precision multiplier. I just don't know if it was really necessary. I mean, they were already really good on bosses.
Yeah, they
So
were really
I'm not
good.
complaining at all. I'm just surprised. Shotguns.
Maybe this is I don't know how. I feel like they would kill someone in their super in PvP if you hit them in the face.
No one's gonna use one in
I think-
PvP. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Yeah. 'cause
Talk
I
about
feel like-
linear fusion rifles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's just maybe it's just because they are so underused. Maybe they did want to make them a little broken to make people actually want to use them.
I'm okay with that.
I haven't seen Rusty in forever. No one's going to use Queen Breakers.
Oh, Lord.
Shotguns, increased PV damage, increased inventory size, increased aim assist for Suros precision shotguns.
Yes. Oh, man. No,
Dude.
I'm a massive like slug shotty aficionado,
you
so
were
that
gonna
is
say
like
dude
they're
stat.
already stupid. Like I don't know why they did that, and I'm not gonna argue with them because like I remember I put like a little clip on Twitter of me just like smashing kids with that, what was it, Gnora's axe after when it first came out.
Iron Banner one, yeah.
Exactly, because it has like that perk where if you like, I guess it's like a take a knee kind of thing where first of all the initial shot has boosted range and precision and everything.
Mhm.
And then I forget what it was. I think it was some other perk I had where it's basically if you slide, it does more. So I was like
Whoa.
slide headshotting kids from like fusion rifle range.
You were telling me that you would fire the first one, and if you switch weapons really quick, the first one, the next shot you take is the same thing or something like that.
Yeah, it's the same as like it's like final round, but like
But it's the first round.
exactly. So if you would shoot and then reload and then swap weapons and come back, it would still count. And if it was like in the magazine, so if like you only get the mag of 4 in PvP, and you would shoot the first shot and then you swap off to another gun and you swap back to it, then that is now your first shot. So you essentially have 4 of those ridiculous bullets.
Exactly, yeah.
And or like if you have the New Monarchy one that's full auto, where I could like go in with this one of the only guns where I felt like I could go in there and there could be 2 or 3 people and I could still get a triple kill.
Oh my gosh.
Because it is full auto, so you go bang, 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 and get all. So if I got more aim assist, I have to aim a little bit less, and I can just like sweep across and take 3 heads out. It's going to be amazing.
That switching out and switching back to get that like initial shot, that sounds a little broken to me.
It's pretty
Yeah, but
messed up.
nobody, like-
You have to be good though.
Well, the thing is, you
to
still
be
have
good.
to hit the headshot. That's the
Mhm.
thing. You still have to hit the headshot.
but
And,
still,
and nobody
that's-
uses it. I mean, it's a very niche kind of shoddy. Like, why use a slug shotgun when you can accurate 3 people in one shot? You know?
True. Yeah, it's difficult to use because me and Papa were playing the same game with that same shotgun, and I can't hit anything with it. Like you have to aim so specifically with that shotgun a different way than you aim any other shotgun. Which is, I'm glad there's weapons like that are so specific, even if it could be kind of broken with this next thing coming out. It's gonna be awesome.
So
Because I was sorry, because I was like a big like chaperone aficionado, so it's like a thing I've been doing for a long time. So it's not like anyone could like pick it up and do it.
Mhm.
I mean, like Hove would just be hitting kneecaps all day, and I already know it. So aiming for the lower head.
anyway, I have a question and a really great idea.
Oh, Lord, here we
So
go.
you remember all the original Iron Banner weapons, Yolder's hammer, Aphrodite's spear, and all that, right? They were like the old Iron Lords. Wasn't there like a set number of Iron Lords in the lore? Wasn't there just like 9 of them or 10 of them or something? Right?
Yeah.
Apparently they're like, I don't know, it was almost like factions that like obviously they were like the main Iron Lords, but I think they had like lesser, because remember they were saying in Rise of Iron that they had like 100 Iron Lords that stormed Rasputin's vault.
No, I thought there was like 10.
No, they said there was about 100
No.
at one point.
Well, my idea still
And-
stands.
Yeah, okay. Because that's because if you look at the new Iron Banner weapons that are coming out now,
Well, that was my
there
point.
are different. Yeah, those are the different ones. And I
That
guess
was
those are, like,
kind of my
lesser
question. Who
Iron
are
Lords.
those people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
Um,
lesser Iron Lords.
So I came up with an idea. They should take like community achievements, and like when they come out with new weapons, name them after people. Like we can have like
Dude.
Hove's Dong Slammer. That can be like the next weapon.
Wow.
I feel like that's already an erotic novel you're working on.
Oh my gosh. I really like this idea. I don't know if I like Hope's example.
How about Hove's Dong
Yeah.
Breaker?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Dong
How about like a
Slammer.
exotic sniper rifle, like the Mana Gaper? You know?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Don't give you in the chat.
sorry,
Get your
sorry.
mans.
Did that go
Get
too
your
far?
mans.
Wow! We just talked about gaping on a Destiny podcast.
God.
Well, it's Dongcast. I don't know. It's a little.
I know. I'm not. I'm. You know.
I'm
got
not
nothing bad
in
to say.
charge of this podcast
I
whatsoever.
thought I
tonight.
just. Okay, I'll go
All
back
right,
to being silent.
so sniper rifles, increased PvE damage for the mana gaper. Okay, increased PvE damage for all snipers, increased precision multiplier, increased aim assist, increased inventory size. They did not tone down flinch.
Yet.
Right.
I know. I'm bummed about that. The
Sad
It's
about
going
it.
to take a while.
increased aim assist is nice, all that
I
stuff,
think that's
but
big, actually.
and inventory size too is
Yeah.
big.
Really? You think increased aim assist for the sniper would help?
Yeah.
They
Well,
turned,
coupled with
it's
the
been
more
turned down
power
a lot.
ammo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but a lot of the snipers from D1 that had really sticky aim assist, except for the longbow. I really got used to the longbow, but a lot of them I didn't really like. I like the snappier ones.
I think the difference is that none of the snipers in D2 have any of that snappiness.
Maybe. Yeah, there's only the one that I'm still used to that I'm still using is just the very first trial sniper. Really.
Long
Yeah, and the new Monarchy one it feels like it's a little bit more aim assist than that one, and that's like that's like the best one for me that I can use. What? You think I'm wrong, Hove?
No, I'm still thinking about the mana gaper.
Oh my god.
I hear a lot of people really like the raid sniper.
Yes, because it's so
11
fast.
God.
Yeah.
Because that one has snapshot in it.
I like the Valletta D. VELE.
The hockey
I don't care
one?
what kind of velvety D you like. All right.
Ooh, that could be another one. Papa's Velvety D, the Mana Gaper,
Velvety D.
Hove's Dong Slammer, Lego's Mini Chicken. Okay. Grenade launchers, increased blast radius. Okay, cool. Auto rifle or assault rifles. Decreased range and aim assist stats for precision autos like Uriel's Gift. Base damage not changed. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think it definitely needs to get put in its place because whenever you're using a scout rifle, like at long range and get killed by Uriels, it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah, like I shouldn't be like. I feel like one of the bigger problems in the meta now is that a lot of the guns don't fall into the category they're meant to fall into.
Yeah,
Like if I'm using an auto rifle against like an Antiope, I should not be getting outgunned by the Antiope at auto rifle range. If I'm using an auto rifle against a Mida, I should not be outgunning the Mida across the map.
Yeah.
And I feel that's what a lot of people do get annoyed at right now, is that a 450 AR is all you need, especially with the size of the maps. Like I was thinking, like we were saying earlier, how the scout rifles just don't seem to have a place at the moment. I think it's because of the way that the maps were designed with 4v4 in mind. They are smaller maps. So you don't have the, like the maps where I find I actually do well with scouts are the old D1 maps that they brought back, like on the remake of Shores of Time, where I can sit back and actually have some space to use a scout.
Yeah.
Whereas like maps like what was that one? Like that only Mars map that we have from on D2 was Retribution. Like there's nowhere to use it. That's essentially a shotgun map.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or obviously you named that map, but am I the only one who doesn't know the name of any of the maps? I couldn't tell you the name of other than Vostok and Endless Vale because they were like early release.
Yeah,
like-
well, Vostok because D1. It's just another D1.
See, for me, not knowing the maps, it makes sense because I never played. But you,
No, I
since you
know
played
them, I
more,
just don't
you
know the
still
names.
don't even.
Shut up.
You know what they
man.
are, you know what they look like, but you don't like to know the names. Like,
Exactly.
what was,
Yeah, absolutely.
like, well, like, what's the IO map? That's the War Mine Vault.
I don't know.
Like, we all know what I'm talking about, though, right? You had like the donut in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know exactly where it is. We know the map back and front, but we don't know the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I agree. Like it is hard to remember stuff for some reason in this version of the game.
It just feels less memorable. I don't know what it is. Like, there's something just missing. There's
Yeah.
like that.
Aim
like-
assist.
I just feel like we're less
Thanks.
passionate, so there's less things we want to pay attention to. We maybe just want to try to get into the game and have fun while we can, and just like jump out and it's like, oh, that map, we're playing this again. That map, we're playing this again. We played it. On to the next one.
Well, I think another part of it is like you had to like memorize and we were so serious about trials in particular, and you had to know the locations of everything of where people would be. And trials is an afterthought in D2, I feel like now, and it's more so about like quick play, like for a lot of people. And so we're not like memorizing like looking at a map. Like I would go and look at, one of the websites that put together an outline of what the map looked like, to think about like different play style strategies and stuff like that, where I would never do that in D2 for whatever reason. So,
and I feel like a lot of the time people are only coming back for events. So they come back for Mayhem, they come back for doubles, they come back for, the first couple of weeks of trials, and then they leave it until something new comes along. So you don't have that constant, because in D1, like we would play it all the time regardless. So you have 3 years of 8 hours a day, no lifing a game to instill every part of that game into your head. Whereas here it's like, oh yeah, this map, like, still know, like I said, you still know the maps. You still know where you need to be, but you don't study them like you used to, because going flawless doesn't mean what it used to. So you don't kind of become a student of the game like you used to, like back in the day. You're like, I'm not sitting up at 3 a.m. watching TV videos of how to not be bad.
Now you're up at 4:30 a.m. talking about the Mana Gaper.
Mana Gaper and my Lithuanian chimpanzees.
So I'm gonna. This is already gonna be a pretty long episode, and I have nothing. I work late tomorrow, so I'm good to go. But for the sake of people's
we should move along.
I'm gonna fly through this last part because we still have a couple questions on Twitter, and I still have a game to play, and we are playing it. Damn it.
Okay, well let's get through this.
Okay, perks also changing. High impact reserves, Kill Clip, and Rampage are all getting increased PvE damage. Rampage is also getting an increased duration. Dragonfly is getting increased damage, increased radius, stronger visual effects.
Yes.
Grave Robber reloads 0.5 magazine instead of 0.3. Timed payload splits damage, 55 explosive, 45 direct instead of previous split, which was much more direct damage. Explosive rounds decreased PvE explosive rounds damage. This decrease has been compensated for with an increase in PvE damage for the base weapons. So basically it's a shift from explosive damage to the actual damage.
Sounds good.
Just like last time, we have a few additional notes to wrap things up. They want to talk about changes to the potency of ability cooldown mods.
Basically with mods, it's like, they didn't have time to implement mods 2.0 or whatever, but they are, in general, increasing the output for ability cooldown mods in this update we're getting now, right? That's basically the gist of it.
Yeah.
Which they already talked about at the top, what the mods were doing for armor.
And then they talk about invisibility. I didn't really read that. Is there anything worth...
I mean, we already talked about the aim assist stuff and the times in which aim assist was being, only while you're dodging and that kind of stuff. And they just go into detail about exactly how it works, I feel like.
Good.
Unless there's something I missed, which could have happened.
Then they touch on snipers. I forgot about this. We mentioned how that update doesn't have flinch reduction.
Yes,
they say in here, they mentioned that Nasty Bug Kryptonor scopes made it impossible for us to correctly tune flinch. We have good news. That fix has been implemented, and those changes will go live in the 1.2 update, which 1.2 is the DLC, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Season 3.
And yeah, there's a little video of some playtest footage, and that's about everything I want to talk about.
So overall, I do want to ask, like, overall, with all of these changes, before we move on to anything else, how do you guys feel about the changes to the sandbox and everything we've seen? Are y'all excited about this? Do you think there's anything that should have been pushed further? I mean, obviously, we're going to have to play this stuff before we make any real opinions, but
I think it's going to be great, and my opinion is going to be correct.
Okay.
Ditto.
Trine, what about you?
Yeah, I mentioned in one of the last comments. I mean, I think for sure we'll have to notice these, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're testing to make sure that everything is, all the changes they make are things that we can definitely tell right away. So I'm excited for them because I think they'll all be pretty impactful.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like it's kind of overwhelming reading it all right now because there's so much that's going to work and tie in together that it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen or how I'm going to feel about it. But I can tell you that right now I'm excited to try all of this stuff, and it sounds really, really fun. And all the things that I want to hear Bungie acknowledge, first of all, and like to hear their direction of where they want to push things. Like we want to see people make plays. We want in quick play things to just be nonstop action and people have power ammo using their snipers and shotguns, fusion rifles, whatever. Like this is all stuff that I want, and it looks like they're trying to make that happen. And so I'm excited to play what they've created. Papa, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely like it's a lot of little steps in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's still going to be a little bit rough because there is such a mass, like it's gotten to the point now where the majority of people that are going to hate on the game are still going to hate on the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's a meme at this point, you know, dead game, it's game shit, whatever.
And it was that in D1 too, so.
Exactly. I mean, it's just another rough patch, but no, they've definitely done a lot of good things. Like I said, it's from a game development perspective, it is a massive amount of work that they've put in to get everything that they're going to do. And I feel like a lot of people still don't just get that part of it. And there's still going to be loads of people saying, oh, we're just backtracking to what D1 was or where the game should have been from the start. But I feel like all that aside, just the effort that the developers have put in, like you're saying, that the fact that this shows that they care. This shows that they're not just going to sit down and let the game die. They're not like, oh, we got our money, whatever, let the game die until D3 comes.
Absolutely.
Well, to be fair, it's their job.
Exactly. It is their job too, but I feel like there is a level of passion. This shows, like, because we all know, like, we've played, like, some of us have played with Bungie devs. We know that they play the game just as much as we do, and that they want the game to succeed just as much as we do. So, like I said, like the people that are going to be negative about it are going to still be negative about it, and I'm kind of cool with that at this point. I'm just excited that if we do come, like for us that are excited and we have stuck with the game, and or even people like Mana that have gone away from it but didn't like abandon it, they just gone away from it till it gets better. This is going to be a really nice, like, hey, Destiny's kind of not, like, it's starting to get good again. Maybe we should give it another try. I think this will be the point that gets the ball rolling of making people want to come back and try it. Like, it's not going to bring back the whole population overnight, but it's going to get some people thinking, oh man, maybe I'll do an extra D1, D2 stream this week, or oh, I just want to try this out, and oh, this isn't too bad. Let's get this going again. And I think this will be what will get that conversation started, get everything going again.
Yeah, and I think it's as excited as we are about these changes, and I think they're going to make a lot of difference and make it more fun. This is more like a foundational thing. I don't think this kind of update is going to bring in people so much as it's going to be like people like us that still play it here and there and want to play it. Like, we're going to come back to try it, but it's important to get this stuff in before, say, a new DLC, because that's where people come in no matter what to see what it's about. If you already have that foundational stuff and have it more fun, that's big.
Exactly. And I feel like this next DLC is actually a little bit more important than, you know, what they're calling the Taken Queen in September. Because everyone's like, oh, there's going to be like this massive Taken King size DLC that's going to save the game or whatever. But I feel like this one is a little bit more important because so many people have already bought it. Like, it came with the expansion pass.
That's true. So they're going to have it anyway.
Exactly. And it'll be like their last straw. It'll be the deciding factor of whether they even bother to purchase that next big DLC. Because even if that next big DLC comes out and they're like, oh, it's amazing and it fixed the game, a lot of people are going to be like, I'm done with it. And I already gave up, and I don't want to spend another $60 for it to maybe be good.
It's kind of a weird division there, because I agree with you in that sense for sure. Because if this one's bad, you're going to lose a lot of the people that aren't going to come back for the new big expansion. But on the flip side, from a like public point of view and new players and an overall perception, I think the other one's bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
That's the big,
definitely.
Like, we're going to push
this is bigger for, I feel like this one's bigger for saving the community that already is in place.
That's, I mean, it's a weird division. Like, they're both they're both really, really important in different ways to different sets of people.
Exactly. Whereas I feel like if we're trying to save the player base that we know, like the community that we grew into, because I feel like a lot of people are starting to stray a bit. And I feel like if we're trying to save the people like Sir Demetrius, who was like, oh yeah, I'm done with Destiny until they fix it. Because he's even as a younger guy, he is like a big voice in the PvP community. And a lot of people kind of, especially younger kids, will take what he says as like the gospel of what's good, what's bad, and all that.
Yeah.
So or people like Triple Wreck, who, were pioneers of PvP at the beginning. And a lot of them are kind of like drifting away. So I feel like that's important to save those aspects of the community. But like I was saying, like this, the community won't die. As long as the game is still decent and there's still people willing to give it a try and it still is interesting, we'll get new people. We'll get new kids that are really good at the game. Even now there's still a sweat community that's bubbling under the surface, still playing D1, still playing D2. And
I got something bubbling under the surface.
I'm worried.
Is it a mana gaper?
No.
Yeah. So I feel like it's just a case of right now trying to save what we already had.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think if they do hit it out the park with their big DLC, it'll just form a new Destiny community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see. It's just how games evolve.
Speaking of games, Hove.
Well, I have like a few very quick Twitter questions.
Okay, I'm just so nervous. My nerves are.
Oh, you'll be fine. Don't worry.
Right now.
So a couple questions, because I did put a tweet out. Bogady asks, in the current drought in D2, have any of you gone back and played D1? I've been enjoying starting a new character and running through everything again. There's so much to do. We've talked about a lot to go back and play D1 and PvP, but we haven't yet, that I know of.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
I went back a month ago for just Friday night, and it was fun. It was refreshing. I was running around with Sniper most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went back and went double Sniper. I had NLB and Longbow on, and
That's
I was
fun.
actually having a pretty fun time. But it was just once. I'm pretty sure it was actually maybe it was in January, closer to in January that I went back. It was just that one day where we're like, screw it, for the craps and giggles, let's go back.
Yeah.
We had a good time. It was a different pace, a really big difference in pace.
Yeah, I bet. The rest of us keep meaning to do it. We keep meaning to go back and do our little private match, Fusion Rifle NLB only. But we just haven't gotten around to it yet. I have watched a lot of my own footage, like from D1, because I ran across like an old YouTube clip of mine or something, and I was like, oh wow, that's like so much. I forgot how fast my movement was as a Titan in particular. Like the way you would Twilight Garrison backwards and they'd be right in front of you, punch them behind, and then you run and jump, and you're just like moving so fast into different directions. And the way the stuff that Ninja with Noel would do, like going in and out of different maps with the Twilight Garrison. I was like, man, I forgot how fast you could move that way. So that's the only thing that my main takeaway from whenever I look back at footage, but I haven't played any of it yet.
I do kind of miss being that guy. Year 3, I was
It was fun.
I was that guy that I hated so much, and I just kind of crumbled. I'm like, screw it, I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
What is it,
Boy, did I do it! I did it so good.
How's it go? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yep,
That's what happened.
I kept in trials for so long that I became that guy.
Guys, I just remember I went back and played D1 for a day, and I was like, I'm gonna be the most toxic person I can be. So I still ran my bubble because that's triggering enough as it is. Universal remote, Matador, no backup plans.
What?
magnetic grenades.
Yeah, you're gross. And
Good times.
Good times were had.
No, he doesn't even pull out a sniper. It's just all shotgun all the time.
Exactly.
That's what I was doing on the Pantheon map that I flew off the cliff, the bubble cliff and all
we know.
that. Like, I was going around with just like universal remote and literally flying it, just throwing myself at people, and then I'd bubble, down there. And then that one time I decided to switch when TV jumped on, and boy, I became infamous for that one.
Dude, that was such a fun meta, though. The universal remote, when it was really good, running around with no backup plans during that meta was so fun.
My
oh my
favorite
gosh.
was Defender Titan, no backup plans, no land, and a shotgun. That was so fun.
That is fun too.
All right, Scotty Manning asks, are there any Rezos that play Siege?
I
don't
do
know.
not.
There is.
It was actually Rainbow Six Siege. I'm guessing what he's talking about.
Yep.
My cousin is actually trying to get me to come back into it because I bought it a week before the Division came out originally, just to kind of hold me over until like the Division came out. I didn't really get into it, but apparently they're coming out with like a zombie mode. I think it might be out right now.
Oh, wow.
They actually have like a 3-player zombie type of horde mode going on right now, and I kind of want to reinstall it. Like I haven't reinstalled it yet, but I'm really this close, tempted to test it out.
Well, I know Too Loud and Null Zero had a podcast on it, Rezo guys, for a little while there, and they were like really into it. And then also, I know Windler's into it right now.
Yeah,
and I know
if you want to have a really miserable life, go play with Wendler.
No, he was like choosing it over. We were playing D2 something, and then we were gonna play something else, and he was like, I'm gonna go play Siege after this, and I was like, oh really? Okay, well, see ya.
Bye.
Right,
I hear it's really fun right now, actually, with all the updates they've done to it. Kind of like the way the Division got really fun. Like I feel like Siege had a big uplift in player count too.
By the way, there's so many things I actually want to talk about that we're not going to this week because we don't have enough time. But Scotty Manning, I would say tweet the Rezo Twitter account and maybe ask, because I don't know. Azrael speaks. If Hove was a chocolate chip cookie, would Lego eat him?
This is a really good question. I'm gonna have to think about it. But all I can picture is like Hove's face in one of the chocolate chips in the cookie. Like
no, all of the chocolate chips.
Okay, your entire.
Is it several little Hove heads, or is like Hove's head a conglomerate of all the chips broken?
I pictured one little Hove head at first.
No,
but now I'm picturing one giant Hove head.
You don't want to see.
Do they talk?
Yeah.
Are they all little sassy Hoves that like talk shit about you?
They're
You don't eat them?
AF.
Then I will definitely eat them because I don't want them staring at me and talking to me.
Just constantly talking shit in like a little Hove voice.
I just don't care for white chocolate, honestly.
Yeah. I'm tempted to answer no just because no, I don't want to eat the Hove head. That's not what I want to do.
You don't know where that cookie's been, man.
Chibi Kim asks, between you, I guess this is directed at me. Everyone knows I run the Twitter account. Because
it's directed at you? What?
Directed?
Oh, wow. It's finally overtaken Lego.
Between you, Lego Man, and Triton, who is the sexiest?
Have you seen Lego's eyes, man?
I gotta go. Here's my answer.
Baby blues, baby.
Part of me says it's tough to decide. No offense, Triton, but it's tough to decide between Lego and Mana. But then I also feel awkward ever saying that Lego is sexy because he feels too pure.
He's a man of God.
So he
and you'd also be calling. You're
Men
also
of God cannot be sexy, apparently.
You're comparing Lego to a little woodland animal.
Or Steven Seagal.
Hey,
well, that's gone.
The woodland animal look has a sexy appeal to it, right?
Actually,
if you're Mr. Thomas, like
if you're Mrs. Thomas.
Actually, weirdly enough, I don't know why. Like this has always stuck out in my head, but Lego reminds me of my high school basketball coach. Because my high school basketball coach, high school basketball coach was about the same age that Lego is now.
Was he a fine man?
Was he 30?
Well, the thing is, he was a youth pastor.
Oh,
and they
God.
I don't know. I feel like youth pastors just all kind of have this look, like you just have like this, like
I know
really,
you're talking about
clean cut, like you had like almost the same hair. You guys like look really similar, and you had like carried yourself the same way.
I feel like I need a haircut now.
I know, right? But so when I look at Lego, I just think of my high school basketball coach, and I don't know, man. I just like he was sexy too because like all the chicks used to follow him, but he was like man of God, wouldn't touch anyone. He was like, full on, like he was hardcore, man. Like he would not.
Yeah, we used to think that men of God didn't touch anyone, but that's changed.
Yeah.
And then I grew up Catholic. I know it's different.
Yeah.
How much basketball does Lego know, though? I'm like curious.
None.
Just like two questions. So like,
though, a basketball is the big bouncy orange one, right?
That was not dodgeball.
How high are the rims, Lego?
The judgment from Triton.
They hate me so much right now. I'm just saying they're big orange balls in dodgeball too. They're orange, right?
They're
I feel like
the balls
no
are.
matter
I don't really think there's a standard.
I played basketball in high school. I know what it is.
I feel like no matter where Lego went, anywhere there was a ball, it became dodgeball. Because they just saw him.
I
and
like
just
the
started
fact
chucking.
that Lego justified that, not with like, just yes, I know what basketball is. Everyone knows what basketball is. Yeah, I played it in high school 15 years ago.
It
I
sure
know
was
what
a
it is.
very long time ago. I probably forgot by now.
All right.
Also, Lego might just be my basketball coach. Like I'm pretty sure they just have like this immortality thing. They just like keep sapping the youth out of the young basketball teams.
I might be.
The
Because I'm
eternal
pretty sure
Keanu
Lego's like
Reeves.
15.
He never
since
ages.
12. Yeah. He's like Pharrell Williams, man. Like he's just immortal. A vampire.
I just, never mind.
All right, I'm exerting my power. We are moving on. It's DJ asked, land at Tilted Towers or nah? Yeah, you always land at Tilted Towers, DJ.
Not if you don't know how to play Fortnite like me.
That's
like
where
I
you
land
want to get in some
as
fights.
far away from everyone as I
you've been
possibly
playing more
can.
Fortnite.
I've been
right?
playing pretty much all week, yeah.
Ooh,
I hate it so much. I've tried once every night, I feel like, and I just shut it off after one game. I just hate it so much.
I've been raging more and more at it, but I think I've been getting saltier and saltier at just like I'm at that point where I just play too much, and you kind of get overloaded, and it's I don't know.
So, it is time.
Okay, what's happening?
So I need all 4 of you guys to check your Twitter DMs. I sent you a link.
All right, here we go.
Oh, boy.
It is to an online Mad Libs game.
Oh my god!
What
are we clicking on?
Was going to be a porn site.
Online?
Word blanks.
There's categories.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make Papa Bear do the first one.
Oh Lord.
So Papa Bear, you pick a category, and you pick a Mad Lib, and then it gives you the list, and it says, noun, adjective, yada yada. You type them all in, and at the end you click play it, and it fills them all in, and you read us the story.
All right.
Should we all be doing this simultaneously so that we're ready to go?
Yeah,
exactly.
So we'll see. Everybody pick one. We'll see how many we get through, how good they turn out. But,
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay, I know which one I'm picking on because this looks awesome. Oh gosh, there's so many.
just so you know, there was a category on here that was adult, and I was like, that'll be funny. But then, after reading them, I realized, we're going to probably put, raunchy things in there. These were very, me and my boyfriend got in my favorite position, doggy style, and I was like, nope, we don't need all of that. So...
It was like bad 50 Shades of Grey writing.
There was one I had picked out for Triton. It was called All the Guys I've Dated. And I was going to make him do that one.
Oh, man.
Wait, so you pick something and then a whole bunch of other things pop up. It's you just pick one of those again?
Yeah, just pick whatever one sounds interesting to you. But Papa Bear's up first. So what category are we going to?
All right, so we're going to animals.
Oh wait, are we all clicking the same category?
No. We're just doing it at the same time so that we're ready to go when it's our turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pick my own category then, right?
Right,
Yes.
but he's going to go around and we're going to give him all the words.
Oh, I see.
That's how Mad Libs works.
I got it. I didn't realize it was a communal Mad Lib.
So I read out the story and you guys ad lib it.
No.
No.
Did you click on one yet?
Yeah, I clicked on one.
Okay, so it says noun. So Lego will give you a noun. Mana will give you the next one. Triton, and then it fills it all in for you.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I just read out the categories and then we'll go around and you guys give me answers.
Yeah, which one are you doing here?
My one is called Why Me Cat God.
Okay.
I gotta change it because he literally chose the same exact thing as me.
Man, we are the same person.
What are the odds?
I'm back. When he first said the animals, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Wriggling creatures.
Here we go.
Exactly.
You go in a circle, ask each one of us for one of those things.
Okay, so we'll start with. I'm just gonna go based on what your webcams are lined up as.
Whatever.
So we'll start with Hove, then Lego, then Mana, then Triton.
Okay.
All right, so Hove, first name of a person.
Bartholomew.
Oh my gosh.
So as you can see, you type it in there.
Thing?
First name of a person.
Oh, you chose
Bartholomew.
Okay, what's next?
Biblical in here, man. All right. So Lego got an animal.
Squirrel. I should have chose a chicken.
Nope. Dang. Squirrel, you get one chance.
Little chicken.
No.
All right. Mana, we have verb present ends in ing. So
Present?
something present as in a word that's like a present verb, a present tense ending in ing. Smelling. Excellent. So far we have Bartholomew squirrel smelling. Great. All right, Triton, an emotion. And yes,
Sad.
horny is an emotion. Oh man.
Oh, I could have used just Hove. Hove is an emotion.
Bartholomew smelling squirrel.
You can also say him as a verb, I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah, it works.
All right, Hove. Same animal plural. Oh, okay, so it's
These are
squirrels. So
squirrels,
that's what this one is. Yeah. All right, verb base form.
Hump.
And here comes the Dongcast.
This is why we're doing this. I mean, we're not picking regular words.
All right, Lego, another verb base form.
Another verb. Make.
Mate.
Don't
Mate.
some hump.
Oh, you can put mate.
is
That
better.
works. Yeah, do that.
All right, man. An adjective ending in er.
Oh boy. Oh.
We have to go back to like high school English. Like, what the fuck's an adjective?
Dude, ending with er now just makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Like uglier,
Gaper.
stupider.
No,
Sexier.
I was about to say sexier, honestly. So
All right,
let's just
done.
go with that.
Fits.
Googling objective.
not even adjectives, objectives.
Rush B. All right, Triton. Verb ending in ed.
Sped.
Sped.
I mean, yeah. I get it.
Okay.
Also,
Another
just so you
verb
know,
ending in ed.
my first thought was Cards Against Humanity. But I've been there when we've played Cards Against Humanity.
Yep.
It would be
That's not a good thing to stream.
No,
Nope.
we would not put that on stream.
Nope.
There's like 2 times I almost, and then came to my senses. I'm like, no, I'll be banned. I'll be banned.
My lord. All right.
My turn. What is it?
Verb ending in ed. Another one.
Spanked.
Spanked. His head's in the right place. All right, Lego, a noun, plural.
Noun plural.
Multiple things.
Co-hosts.
Co-hosts. Oh,
Interesting.
So disappointing.
You could have said dongs.
Yeah.
Hey, good. I wanted to put y'all in the story. Come on.
Verb base
Dongs.
form for mana.
Verb. Licking.
No, just lick.
Looking.
Lick.
Base
Sorry,
base
sorry,
form.
lick.
Base form.
Base form. Sorry.
All right,
Lick.
and then we have an adjective to finish it off. Turn.
Better be a fucking good one.
Harry.
Ooh, that's good.
Right. Play it.
I'm so scared.
All right, so
Not
Why
really.
Me, Cat God by Papa Bear Mars.
And friends.
And friends.
And friends.
One day, Bartholomew the squirrel was smelling to play Minecraft for the first time, but then realized that he could not reach the keys. He was very sad. Why me, squirrel god, he claimed. Suddenly, to his surprise, the squirrel god answered back. Squirrels aren't meant to hump Minecraft. You should make that. Besides, you are sexier than regular squirrels, thundered the squirrel god. Bartholomew was sped. So he spanked trying to reach the co-host, and he went on to lick his hairy couch.
All right. Oh god.
That was better than anticipated. Hope, I don't know if we have time for 4 of these. It's
Well,
one
we
of
gotta
them.
get it through at least
We
one
make
more.
time.
Come
We
on,
can do one
yeah.
more.
Papa Bear,
Triton,
it's
do you-
5 a.m. and he's down.
Triton, do you
Bro,
want to?
I gotta work in 4 hours. I'm beyond the point of no return.
Yeah, if you want me to do the one that I mean, I
I
can
gotta
do
be
the
at work
one.
at 9:30, and I hate
Or-
all of you.
If
Papa
I know,
Bear's committed at this point.
I know Triton's got something he might have to leave for soon.
Do you have time for one more?
Yeah, I can do one more.
All right.
Or do you want to do it? Hope, you should probably do it since you're the
Yeah,
True,
I just
true,
like
yeah.
giving.
your cast.
I was gonna make you do it so we could trade out your lame answers for Papa Bear's raunchy answers.
you
Why
go
you
ahead.
just
You go
assuming
ahead
I'm
and do
going
it.
to
Hope.
ratchet?
Okay, we're gonna
Yes.
go with. Ooh, I can't decide between thriller, romance, and self-help.
Thriller sounds pretty good.
Self-help.
I picked the self-help one too.
What does that mean?
Dude, there's how to get a life in self-help one. There's low budget wedding for some. What
Yeah, I
the
saw
heck?
We're gonna go with
I need a boyfriend.
no. We're gonna go with Dear Walmart.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay,
That has
so
to
we're
be
gonna
a
go Lego,
From that.
Lego Mana, Papa Bear, Triton. Name of a company, Lego.
Oh gosh, Target.
Mana, noun.
Tree.
Papa Bear, area of study. This one's dumb.
Oh my God.
We're going with thriller.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The scary sleepover. This should be. Oh, there's.
There we go. Let's do it.
These are dumb. Papa Bear, you picked a good one. These are stupid.
I mean, how can you go wrong with something called?
How do you even know until the end anyway?
Because they only have like 5. Like
well, that's
5
fine.
words. No, that's
Let's
not,
do it.
That's dumb.
The one I picked had a lot. I didn't know there was. I thought I looked at mine. Yeah, mine is like 20.
We could let Triton do his.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are gonna like mine.
Was it like something about taxes or?
Almost Lego. So I picked. Well, while Hope search it up, I'll just let you know what I picked. I picked business and shared services branding as my my selection for a story.
Shared
so.
services.
It makes
That's
sense
the most
though.
nice way I've ever heard prostitution called.
Okay, I got it. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
It's called Dream Date.
All right.
Date. Oh god.
Here we go.
The first one.
About me.
Lego.
Okay.
We need a female in the room.
All right. Mosley, my dog, was over here a second ago. That's the one that's in the room.
Mana, boy's name.
Tom.
Papa Bear, adjective.
Voluptuous.
Yo, it was funny because I had that word like that. I was
You two
waiting.
are, like, meant
Man,
to be.
we're the same person.
Like,
Insane.
out of this
Like,
weird right now.
Try
Looking at us
another
too, like-
adjective.
Promiscuous.
Ooh.
Oh man, this is a saucy dog you got.
Lego, animal.
Dang it. Chicken.
Mana, name.
Drew.
Papa Bear, location.
Timbuktu.
Adjective describing food.
Who's that?
Delicious.
Oh, okay.
Type of drink, Lego.
Sweet tea.
Let Hope shake his head.
No, that's not what I'm shaking my head at. Mana, body part.
Oh gosh.
Can I say it?
You can say whatever you want.
Can I say dong? Can we use that?
Papa Bear, another body part.
Little toe.
Ooh, kinky.
Triton, verb, present with an S, I guess, or minus S. I don't. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna go with humps. Wait, no, it has to have an S, right?
I don't know. That's fine.
Humps. All right.
Hump.
Lego, adjective. We just got one more, another round.
Adjective. Scary.
Mana, adjective.
Another one. Luscious.
Papa Bear, adjective.
Thick with 2 C's.
Ooh, wow. I appreciate it.
Triton, noun.
Strip
REZOcast?
club. Can I do strip club?
Okay, that works.
2 more. Lego, adjective.
Dang it, I want a noun.
Too bad.
Blurry.
Yours are so lame. Mana, noun. Last one.
Flock. Like pigeons and stuff. Like I was thinking, like what is it called? Like like a noun of pigeons. Like I don't know.
Flying V.
Yeah. Like okay. Ducks. Then I don't know.
So this is called Dream
I was
Date.
thinking of birds for some reason. Don't judge me.
It's a chicken.
So me and Mosley.
He's thinking the Lego-sized chicken.
Me and Mosley always dream about Tom. He is very voluptuous and promiscuous. He also has a chicken named Drew. We always dream about going on a date in Timbuktu. In the dream,
That rhymed.
this is actually in the dream we get delicious popcorn and sweet tea. he holds my dog. He holds my dog and puts his little toe around me. Afterwards, he humps me in his scary house and plays luscious video games. Then he drives me to my thick house where we stand at the strip club and say our goodbyes. If only that blurry dream flock could come true. So me and Mosley have been dreaming about Tom holding my dong.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying.
Okay.
The house is the strip club.
I guess.
Honestly, we need to invest to make it a strip club and call it the house.
That's where you go to have someone hold your dong.
The cash grab right there.
I just need.
Yo, you guys want to be up at the big house?
I just want to tell you that we have had a request to do one more.
We might
New trap house.
we might need to save it for another episode. Like this is great. This is really
please one more.
We can do one more. We can do one
Yes.
more.
one more.
All right, Lego, this one's you.
Okay. No. This one's Triton for sure.
No, I did. I think mine was that shared business. I don't know if that shared business services is gonna do it for us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dead
Well,
honest.
You're right. Mana,
Bro.
you pick it.
Bro, you going to the
okay,
thick
okay.
house? Yo, I'm down.
Let's see. We're going fiction, and we're going
Oh, fiction.
Also-
a guy that gets drunk.
Also, we have a request to
Yes.
make this one
So-
Mad Lib at the end of each episode. A regular
Oh my
thing.
gosh.
Bye, Papa Bear. Oh, he said computers
Is he
suck. Yeah.
All right, so it goes Hove, Lego, Triton.
Okay.
All right, so Hove, adjective.
Horny.
We're starting off good. Lego, adjective.
Horny.
Hornier.
Long.
Wow, where is this going? Triton, location.
I'm in a strip club.
Nice.
I mean, it's Dongcast. I should have said thick house. Damn it.
We're just making that, I'm changing it. We're making that officially a place, okay? House. Okay. Who's next? Hove, noun.
Cummies.
Oh my gosh.
Did what I could not last time.
I had multiple requests in chat.
Lego number.
There's only
76.
There's no,
Yeah, I was
okay.
about to say.
Okay, there's three
It
right
had to
answers.
been.
There's three right answers. I would have been
Yes,
also
I
okay
know.
with 420 and 69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I figured.
True. All right, Triton, adjective. There's a lot of adjectives in this
Itchy.
one.
Ooh.
What?
I'm still laughing at thick house.
Hove. Hove, noun.
Wait. So wait. Man a gaper at the thick house, right? Is that that's the thing, right? Man a gaper at the thick house.
I don't.
What do I
don't
need?
know
What am I
about
giving? What am I doing?
Noun.
Noun.
Yes.
Sperm.
this. Oh my gosh.
Boy. This is how we get banned.
Did you say? Wait. Did you say attaboy or oh boy?
Oh boy.
I
Is it oh
was,
boy?
I was hoping you went
guys-
attaboy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Lego number.
Dang it, another number. Dang it, no one else has numbers in their name, or I would definitely use one. Let's just go 4. That's how many are in this podcast. 4.
20.
All right, Lego number.
Another number?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
wow.
Triton then, right?
Yeah, Triton.
No, let's
Number.
go with 69 then.
Yes.
69. Okay. Hove, noun.
Vagina.
Oh my
This
gosh, what is
great.
happening?
This is the most inappropriate one yet.
Definitely.
Papa Bear is missing out.
Give
Papa
him two.
Bear's
Give
here.
him two in a
I'm
row.
back.
Papa Bear's back.
I
Give
li-
him two.
Papa Bear is right after Lego. Lego, location.
Oh.
3 left. So
Thick
Papa
house.
Bear can say one.
Pittsburgh.
Thick house.
Pittsburgh.
The thick house.
All right, so Papa Bear, it just says anything.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh man, anything.
Anything. It's giving
Put
you
Hove
free
in it.
range right now.
Put Hove in it.
Hove in it. I don't want to taint this story. Hove's meaty dong.
Oh my god.
Wowee.
Wow.
Hey, we're gonna get banned. I may as well go all out.
We're not
I can't
gonna
believe
get banned.
I can't
I'm
believe you're
gonna get
making me spell this. Okay. And Triton, another anything for the finish. This is the final one.
I'm going to use caress.
Wait, was it? Oh, it was a verb. I was going to say, if he said...
Well, no, it could be anything, so I didn't know. I just kind of wanted to... I just feel like we'll see what happens with caress.
Can I change one of the nouns somewhere to money shot?
Oh, my lord.
No?
You may not.
All right.
Press, and then... Okay. Okay. And play. A guy that
Wait,
gets
what was the
drunk.
name of this? What was the name of it? Oh, that was the name?
Yeah, a guy that gets drunk.
Okay. I'm ready.
Once a horny... God damn it. Once a horny long had went in the car. That's the dude's name. Once a horny long went in the car and tried to drive to Thick House hours later. He was thirsty, so he grabbed a cummies and drank the whole bottle.
Oh my god.
What is happening?
He drank the
How did
cummies,
this
man.
happen?
I'm going to tell like 3 people at work not to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, no.
Second.
Don't.
But he was still itchy, so he drank another sperm. Seconds. He got drunk, so he hit 69 cars and pooed all over the place. He usually does that when they just misspelled half of these things. When he gets in vagina accidents.
Wait.
He ran away.
Did he
What?
poo? That wasn't one of our words. Was poo?
No,
in there? That was just in the story.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, they also misspelled a couple things too. So he pulled all over the place. He usually does that when he gets in vagina accidents. So he ran away from the cops as fast as he could run and went back Pittsburgh.
Back to Pittsburgh.
No, it's just there's no two. It's just
Well, yeah,
went
I
back
know,
Pittsburgh. All right, I'm sorry, but that was just. Let me read that second thing again. Okay, or no, the whole first half. Once a horny long,
I don't know if
I
we
went in
should.
the car
I don't know if we should
and tried to
read that.
drive to Thick House hours later. He was thirsty, so he grabbed a cuppies and drank the whole bottle in 76 seconds.
This is why our podcast is labeled explicit, guys.
Just so you know, you're Oh, here's the rest of it. There's like 3 inches, and then it continues. Hove's meaty dong caresses.
Oh wait, how many times has that ever? Have you? I mean, how many people have you told that to? Don't worry, it's 3 inches, but it continues.
It literally. That's all it said. Hove's meaty dong caress.
It does.
That's how it ends.
It does.
That's how it.
It's a
does-
terrible Mad Lib.
I mean,
It does caress.
Isn't that how most nights end?
It does caress. I will tell you that.
That's how it
Oh
ends.
my
It's just those.
Wendler in chat said 76 seconds record time.
Okay, well, I think we're coming to a close here with REZOcast. We've got something right after we finish for everybody here live, right? Right, Hove? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
I am going to. I may not be in charge after tonight, but
Nope.
I'm going to
Never
discuss.
again.
I'm going to discuss with Lego, since we had multiple requests, to maybe end each episode with a Mad Lib.
We'll
Yo, I'm totally down.
we're gonna discuss it.
Lego, we need a thing. We need a weekly thing.
I know.
And
And they won't all be this episode. So
You know what? I'm actually sad that no one added a bag of dicks as.
Oh my
like,
god,
we messed
We,
up.
we messed up.
we're gonna have to do another one.
So
We're gonna have to continue.
Papa Bear, thank you for joining us this episode. This has been REZOcast, episode 76, or as Hove likes to call it, other things.
Yeah, this is actually DONGCAST episode 1.
apparently
Subtitled,
You're right. This is an entirely different
Subtitled.
podcast.
dramatic pause. Let the dong flow through you. Okay?
I don't think it's called that. This has been Lego Flash. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego LE Flash.
I call it
Hove,
what
where
I
can they
want.
find you?
On the DONGCAST with my meaty dong caressing things.
Supported by Thick House.
Oh my god.
You can find me at the Thick House with the man gaper.
That's my stage name.
Hove promised me I wouldn't. I would be very uncomfortable, and stuff was gonna happen that was gonna make me very nervous, and he delivered. Let me tell
No,
you.
Lego, that's whenever I come over.
Okay.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Your thick house.
You can find me here, twitch.tv/hove76.
Or maybe not in the future.
Guess what else
He may be banned.
I may get banned. If you can't find me here, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/hove76. I did find something out. Do you remember the one review we got that was Cassandra backwards 79, and we thought it was Gunga? I found out who it is.
It's not Gunga.
It was River. So thank you, River, for that hidden review.
Perfect.
Oh, and one more thing. I just wanted to read this because I thought this was a very, very honest and serious review of our podcast that we got this past week. It's not on YouTube or anything. It was just a reply to our tweet about the episode.
We're all shills for Bungie getting paid for this.
It's from REZO Monk, and he says, really great episode. This was about last week. A, Hove should keep going on tangents because they're great, and he's hilarious.
Monk.
Definitely a shill.
Monk. What was B?
More Wendler, please.
He regretfully reads it out loud.
So, I just wanted to... You're welcome.
I would normally thank someone for a review, but not in this case.
Thank you, Monk. I always knew that you were a very astute and smart young man.
Sell out! Triton, what about you? Where can I find you?
I kind of just want to be skipped, but hey, you can find me.
You can't find me anywhere after
Twitter,
this.
YouTube, and Twitch, all under Triton, please being PLZ. How about you, Mana?
Since we're getting Hove banned and not me, I'll still be on the Manigator. Always live every day on Twitch TV/the Manigator. On Twitter, the Manigator. Maybe one day on YouTube at the Manigator. Or is it just the Man? I haven't even been on my YouTube channel in so long. I don't remember what it is. It's something Manigator. You'll find
your YouTube got banned.
So it's banned for
how long before the Manigator shows up in your chat?
Oh God. Don't give them ideas.
No.
Right? There's too many peeps in chat right now that will show up the very next day. Honestly, it might already be.
Gunga being the first.
I'm on it right now.
So, Papa Bear, how about you? Where can we find you?
First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to distance myself from these gentlemen in every way.
He did call us gentlemen.
Oh, man. He's probably excluding you, so...
But no, I don't do anything, so I'm straight up just on Twitter at Papa Bear Mars. Capital Z at the end because I'm fancy like that because it's the 90s. Because edgy and all that. So, but yeah, no, go follow me because I'm trying to get the 777 and then I'm blocking everyone. So
nice.
All right, Pope Bear.
Well, yeah, you can also find more about Team Resolute at teamresolute.com at teamresolute.com and at Team Resolute on Twitter, both the same thing. And you can tweet at us at REZOcast and blame Hove for everything in this episode. Or congratulate him apparently. And I guess that's it for this episode for the podcast. We'll see the rest of y'all live just a second. We'll have some announcements, but for on the podcast, guys, GG.
Yeah, I guess so.
GG.